So we met at the center of the cul-de-sac, and he just gave me this look like, wow, who'd have thunk? And then, what are you going to do? What's your plan, big guy? Because that's a lot of money. 30 years ago, that kind of contract was destabilizing, to say the least. And also, Dave Checkins had done his homework, right? That they had been smart enough to, because we were publicly traded and we were a young company. He looked at the balance sheet and said, "Hey, look how much money they have in the bank. So we offer $1 more. That's going to knock their company on their ear. They're going to have to take 5 picks." So, given that he had Richter and he had, the greatest player of all time, Wayne Gretzky, and by the way, Joe Sakic's idol, that was going to be a powerful team. And having just lost Messier, he needed to do something. And so he did the right thing. He said, what the heck? There's a chance they aren't going to be able to pull it off. And at least I'm making an effort. And so I felt pretty beat up, candidly.
Follow every second of the action on NHL Network Radio. From behind the bench to every play on the ice. If it's hockey, it's on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Wednesday, January the 15th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, 6 p.m., Buffalo Sabres take on the Carolina Hurricanes. Sabres on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 922. Hurricanes on Internet 924. 8:30 p.m., Minnesota Wild face the Edmonton Oilers. Wild on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 933. Oilers on Internet 930. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Wednesday, January the 15th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, 6 p.m., Buffalo Sabres take on the Carolina Hurricanes. Sabres on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 922. Hurricanes on Internet 924. 8:30 p.m., Minnesota Wild face the Edmonton Oilers. Wild on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 933. Oilers on Internet 930. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Wednesday, January the 15th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, 6 p.m., Buffalo Sabres take on the Carolina Hurricanes. Sabres on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 922. Hurricanes on Internet 924. 8:30 p.m., Minnesota Wild face the Edmonton Oilers. Wild on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 933. Oilers on Internet 930. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Wednesday, January the 15th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates.
Hear it all on demand. Your favorite shows, your favorite games. Don't miss a second of your favorite SiriusXM programming on demand with the SiriusXM app. Download it now for free.
Mark Messier is a 6-time Stanley Cup champion. He won 5 with the Edmonton Oilers and 1 with the New York Rangers, and is the only player to captain 2 teams to Stanley Cup championships. In Edmonton, after winning back-to-back Stanley Cup championships in 1984 and 85, it wasn't until 1987 where the team would win their 3rd Stanley Cup championship. Speaking on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Messier joined Scott Laughlin for the morning skate on Sirius XM Channel 91 to talk about what it was like to win that 1987 Stanley Cup Finals series against the Philadelphia Flyers, despite blowing a 3-1 series lead and having to win it in a Game 7.
You're listening to NHL Play-by-Play on SiriusXM.
gained a 2-game split. After winning in San Jose, they suffered a loss on Sunday night in Vegas. In a game that was even after 40 minutes, the Knights pulled away in the third.
Yeah, no excuses, but you're right. I thought we battled. It was a tighter game than the score showed, but that's the league. You show up, you compete, and sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. We got to get home, get some rest, and get ready for the next one.
That's John Merrill. His Wild have won 7 of their last 10 overall, but tonight it's another tough test back on home ice.
I'm just skating on your whole team, Connor McDavid.
McDavid, what a spin, the recovery, the shot is score! Connor McDavid! It's not real!
I'm just skating on your whole team, Connor McDavid.
Draisaitl, one-timer score from an impossible! He still has it, wraparound backhanded attempt, he still has it, he shoots, he scores! It's the Connor McDavid show! 2 of the league's best are in St. Paul as the Wild host McDavid, Draisaitl, and the Edmonton Oilers.
This is Wild head coach John Hines.
What can you say?
Kevin Fulness has the pregame next. You're listening to Wild Hockey presented by XL Energy.
As the official partner of the Minnesota Wild, Enterprise is ready to go that extra mile. We're dedicated to the most dedicated fans in the game. And with us on your team, you can move forward with confidence, knowing we've got your back. We're always available with mobility solutions, whether you need a rental, replacement, truck, or even tailored business strategies.
He scores!
At Enterprise, your goal is our goal, and we're ready with the assist.
Getting the care you need when you need it should be simple. At Health Partners in Park Nicollet, our clinics, hospitals, and specialties are all connected to give you a streamlined experience. That's because our system-wide health record ensures everyone on your care team is on the same page. And every day, we're offering more ways to make it easier to get great care. Like virtual visits, hybrid preventive care, online scheduling, mobile check-in, Save My Spot for urgent care, and more. Visit healthpartners.com/wild today.
Faves, no. Brodeen, no. Spurgeon, probably not. We don't have any additions to the lineup tonight.
There you go. In a nutshell, that's your lineup report. The injured still out, so the shorthanded Wild will have their hands full with the Edmonton Oilers. Welcome to the pregame. Kevin Fulness in St. Paul from the Al Shaver press box. As we get ready for tonight, let's check in with a former Oiler ready to face his former team.
Devon Shore, forward, Ajax, Ontario.
Pugliarvi in front, race shot, score! And what a goal for Devon Shore!
And nice to get a nice little break in the action there. A couple of days off in between games. How'd you regroup mentally?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's just when you're away from the rink, just recovering and mentally resetting. And we had a good chance to get some practice time in. The amount of games that there are in this league, sometimes it's tough to find days to get a good practice in with all the travel and everything. So we did that, and yeah, just ready to get back into her.
How'd you assess the weekend? You go out and you get a split out of San Jose and Vegas. 2 pretty different games, 2 very tough games, and the tough travel schedule thrown on top of it. How would you assess those 2 games?
Yeah, I thought we did a good job in San Jose at finding a way to win. I don't think as a group we necessarily had our best, but we're a good team, and good teams find a way to win, and we did that. And then Vegas, we were there till the third, and kind of we slipped up first. So it felt like it could have went either way going into the third, and we didn't get the job done. So you watch a bit of video and learn from it, and take the split and move on, because there's plenty of games in the future.
There is, including tonight, the third straight game against the Pacific Division. We know how tough it's been thus far. It doesn't get any easier tonight. When you talk about the Mount Rushmore of guys in the NHL right now, 2 of them are probably on that Oilers roster. What are you guys up against as you try to keep things going in the right direction?
Yeah, we're up against 2 world-class players and a really good team. So it's going to take contributions from everyone. We're going to have to be dialed in on our details and really bring our compete. If we do that, I think we give ourselves a good chance.
How about you? How are you enjoying your stay here in the state of hockey and trying to make an impact on this team?
Yeah, I'm loving it. It's a great group of guys, good coaching staff. Been fortunate enough to be in this league for a long time, and this organization and group is right up there with one of the best I've been a part of. So just enjoying every day, doing my best to contribute, doing the little things. It's not always the flashy stuff and the fancy stuff, but just trying to play the right way and be a good teammate.
Well, good to have you. Good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
Devin Shore, tonight will be his 25th game of the season with Minnesota, but looking for his first goal with the Wild. He was with the Oilers from 2021 through 2023, played 134 games with the Edmonton Oilers. He's had an NHL career that spanned 10 seasons and 467 games on the NHL level. He's ready to go. So too is Joe O'Donnell. He's downstairs with tonight's Coaches Show.
Thanks, Kevin. Joined by Wild Associate Coach Jack Capuano as the Wild tonight take on the Edmonton Oilers. Coach, this week's one that you guys probably really appreciate as coaches. Just a one home game. You get some practice time. You get a little rest for the players. How valuable can this week be?
Well, it's valuable because we don't get much time at all. So, it's a little, like I think I've told you earlier, in the West, it's a little bit different. I've been in the East. So when you get this practice time, you got to make the best of it. And there's some things that you can clean up.
The Oilers are a tough team. You saw them here about a month ago in your building. It was a game that maybe, again, the score wasn't indicative of how your team played. What do you remember about that matchup? What can you use, some lessons maybe from that game to take care of them in the rematch tonight?
Well, obviously, been in the league so long, you've seen these guys play, and it's a lot of the same players, but obviously they're a skilled team. So anytime you play them, you have to be good off the rush, and you have to manage the puck. You can't make it a short track against a team that has that much skill in transition, and they come at you in waves, especially with their D, the way they join as well. So you have to play a high percentage game against good teams, and I think that we've showed some signs of that against some of the top teams that we've played, but this is one game in particular that we have to make sure that we manage the puck.
What about the skating ability of a Connor McDavid and a Leon Draisaitl make them so hard to defend?
Well, I just think it's a combination of not only their ability to find open space, but it's the hockey IQ as well. So they played together so long. Obviously, they're a dynamic duo, but they do have a good team. So and they're complemented by Hyman and some of the other guys on their team. So again, it goes back to the same thing. It's making sure you're not going to eliminate those guys from getting chances in a game, but how many chances are going to give them? So for us, we have to make sure we're disciplined. We've got to stay out of the penalty box. They have a good power play, and then you have to know who you're out against. So you always talk about, if you do get caught out against those guys, we get the matchups at home, obviously, but if you're out against them, you got to play high percentage hockey. Like I said, you got to have good sticks, and you got to take away the interior of the ice.
Talking with Wild Associate Coach Jack Capuano on the pregame show, the Wild and the Oilers, in a few minutes from St. Paul on the Minnesota Wild Radio Network. Let's go back to the game against the Vegas Golden Knights for a minute. You score first, you're leading after 20. Obviously, the 5-on-3 power play was tough. But overall, did you love the way the guys competed despite the result?
Yeah, I thought we cracked a little bit in the third, but if you go into that game and you look at the back-to-back games, a 5 o'clock game, we did a lot of good things. Yeah. I mean, the 5-on-3, it's just a situation where we just got out of position with 1 second left on the clock and they score, but we're still in the game. Obviously, in the third period, took some more penalties, and then what happens is you don't get some of your top guys out there that don't kill as much, so they're out, they don't get the ice time that maybe they would have gotten. But overall, for us, it was a good game, but there's no moral victories. It's a game that we could have won, but there was some areas, and today we adjusted, clean up. We're not shooting the puck enough. We're not triggering when we get opportunities. Our shot attempts are way down over the last 2 weeks, and you shoot, you get it back, you shoot, you get it back, and it causes chaos, and we haven't done that, so we have to get back to that mentality.
Coach Hines seemed like he stopped practice earlier and was pretty emphatic about, that it was average or something he didn't see wasn't good enough. Just elaborate on the importance of the details on a practice day to get the guys ready for a game situation.
Well, when you have limited practice time, we come to the rink, the coaches have a plan to go out there, and we want to execute, but the pace and execution obviously wasn't something that he thought was, at the level that needed to be at. Stop practice, and that's what you have to do as a head coach, because again, you don't have the practice time that you have, and our goal is, as an organization, is to continue to get better and reach the ultimate goal, and that's Stanley Cup. So it's a process to get there, but when you have these practices, you have to maintain the level of excellence and the demand that we want, and that's kind of why you kind of just pause it there for a minute and say, hey boys, let's get back to do what we do.
For a moment, can you share with the fans what the overall message has been in the group with all these injuries? I know you guys won't make excuses. You don't care who's in the lineup. It's a team game. It's the right mindset. But just sort of that message and what that's been like delivering it to the guys the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think for me it's the next man up. It doesn't really matter. And I've been involved in a lot of playoffs, and I'm sure like Heinze has too. And there's going to be injuries in the playoffs. This is just the way it is. So every team goes through it. What we stress and John stresses is it doesn't matter who's in. That we have to play a certain style, and when we do that, we're at our best. And I think that over the last couple of weeks we've got away from that a little bit, and I think that goes a little bit in the offensive zone. You're not going to score a game with you're not going to win a game score one goal. You have to have multiple goals in this league to win. Usually it's 3 a night, which is 248 or 250 for the year, and we're going to have to trigger more. And we're not always looking for the sexy players of late, where sometimes simplicity of the game and the offense is what we need to do, and that's how we're going to have success. But overall, it doesn't matter who's in the lineup, like you said. We just got to stick to the foundation and the framework and what makes us successful.
Last time you played the Oilers, you were without Joel Eriksson-Ek, you were without Jonas Brodin. Eriksson-Ek, we know, back in the Wild lineup. From your perspective as a guy that coached against him, but now getting to see him, just how valuable is Eriksson-Ek to this Wild lineup?
Well, his leadership, obviously, number one. Number two is I think that I do believe this game is contagious amongst the group. Mm-hmm. And when you see a guy like him do the right things all the time, it becomes contagious amongst our group, and guys following that. He's one of those guys that, coaching against him, that you didn't want to see your top line against him, because he checks for his chances, and that's what he does. And he might not have, point production this year that he wants to have with the injuries that he's had too. It will come for him. But the one thing that he does is he does have a good stick. He's always on the right side of the puck, plays solid defensive hockey, and that's what makes him so special.
Lastly, before I let you go, really appreciate your time. First period tonight, what's the recipe for success for Minnesota?
5-minute increments. Just, we know that they're a high-paced, high-octane team. That's the way that they play. That's the way that they're built. So again, how are we going to handle both blue lines? Are we going to try to make the extra play? Are we going to put it behind them? That's what the game comes down to. You have to make them turn. You have to make them play a 200-foot game. Like I said, if you make it a short track, they transition so well with their defense as well, that then you're going to have some issues.
Thank you for doing this. Best of luck tonight against the Oilers.
Okay, thank you.
As Wild Associate Coach Jack Capuano, back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, Joe, and that is tonight's Coaches Show. Up next, we're going to hear from both Tom Reed and Ryan Hartman. This is Wild Hockey, presented by XL Energy.
College Football National Championship is finally here, and Sports Grid Radio and Sirius XM is covering it all from the sports wagering and handicapping perspective. It's two historic programs going head-to-head with Notre Dame versus Ohio State. The line opened up with the Buckeyes as a 9.5-point favorite and a total of 46.5. Make sure you tune in the Sports Grid to get all the live odds, props, and movement leading up to the game on Monday. The place to get the winning edge over the sports books is Sports Grid Radio on Sirius XM Channel 159 in your car and on the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, scores!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favourite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app, now available for all subscribers.
Draisaitl and McDavid. McDavid to Draisaitl, he scores. Just so good together.
They're two great players, obviously, but I think usually any team you look at, there's usually a line or a few guys that you have to be really conscious of. But obviously with Draisaitl and McDavid, they did some damage to us the last time we played them. So we're certainly aware of that, and we'll have to make sure that we're diligent in certain areas to hopefully not have that happen again.
Wild head coach John Heinze. Yeah, the Oilers were here a month ago, and their two superstars combined for 6 points in a 7-1 butt-whooping of the Minnesota Wild, and Minnesota contain them this time around. Tom Reed is with me from the Al Shaver Press Box. Before we look at tonight, Tom, let's go back to the weekend, a split out west. What'd you think of the effort in San Jose and Vegas?
What I've liked about this team is the effort. I think in each and every game, we have not seen this team really sit back and just take it for granted they're going to win or going to lose. They have really worked hard. And even when they lose some of the games, there's lessons still to be learned from those games. And I think that Minnesota in this last road trip, the 2-game road trip, played very well and could have had 4 points out of it. They got half of it. And you know what? If you can be 500 on the road, that's great. And they were 500 these last 2 games.
Yeah, they took care of business, got the 50% that was offered, and now they come back to St. Paul 2 days off before this, 2 days after this, for a team that's as beat up as the Minnesota Wild are. Sounds like pretty good timing to me.
Yeah, and you're right, Kevin. We're hoping to see some players come back into the fold. But as John said this morning, there's no change to the lineup. When you look at Minnesota right now, they still have, Faber still out, and Brodin and Spurgeon and Kaprizov and Laukow. They're all out of the line. Those are all valuable pieces to the puzzle of this lineup. And I keep telling people, don't worry about where they're going to wind up in the standings. That's not the big thing. The big thing is to get into the playoffs. Then you go from there.
I know none of those guys are coming back tonight. It sounds like, though, they could be very close in the very near future, especially Kirill Kaprizov. I mean, he skated today, looked no worse for the wear, and that's a huge sign. Even if it's not tonight, to have the hope that he's coming back soon, that's got to be great.
And it's not just him. I think the team is really taking a lot into consideration when to play these guys. If they have these little pulls and things like nagging injuries, don't bring them back until they're very close to 100%. Yeah. You don't have to be 100%, but you never are in this game during the course of the year. But you want to make sure that when they come back, they are ready to compete at the high level you want without re-injuring themselves.
Well, the last time the Wild faced this Edmonton Oilers team, you heard Joe talk about it in the coach's show. Wild got their butts kicked. They were without Jules Eriksson, Jonas Brodin. Jake Middleton went in just seconds into the hockey game, blocking Evan Bouchard shot with his hand. This time you still don't have Jonas Brodin, but you do have some weapons at your disposal. How do they slow down the high-powered McDavid and Draisaitl's of the world in this one?
Well, this is a Western night, so I would say get the lassos out, because you're going to have to pull them back somehow. You have to do something along the line. They are hard to contain, and one person can't do it. You really have to be communicating on the ice together with your line mates, your defense pairing, the goaltender. Everybody has to be talking, because those guys are explosive. We know what they can do. We've seen Draisaitl, and I can remember Todd McClellan when he was coaching in Edmonton, and he brought Draisaitl into him, and he looked at him. He said, "You know what, Connor McDavid's great, but," he said, "you don't have to be the second best player on this team." And I thought that really struck home to me, saying, you can be just as good. And I think Draisaitl has proven that. I mean, we still have to go and say Connor McDavid is the guy, but this Draisaitl is the real thing.
It's a formidable 1-2 punch, no doubt about it. As we make our way just past the midway point of the season, I'm curious your thoughts on the Pacific Division. You got the Oilers, you got the Golden Knights, and you got the Kings. Those are 3 monsters in the Western Conference. I don't know who you would have picked coming into the season, but right now, if you had to guess who's going to be there at the finish line, who wins the Pacific Division this year?
I still think Edmonton's got the team. Oilers? They can do that. Yeah, I really do. And of course, they're playing as a team right now, and they've got a tough travel schedule. I mean, coming into the States all the time, back and forth between Canada and the U.S. I mean, all the teams have to do it, but when you're up there, that takes a little extra time. But they've got a great following in Edmonton. It's a great hockey city, no question about it.
All right, that's Tom Reed for now. When we continue with Tom, we'll get you the starting goaltenders, and we'll also take a closer look at the lineup report. But why don't we do this while we got the opportunity? Let's check into the guy who scored the only goal for the Wild in Sunday's 4-1 loss to the Golden Knights.
Ryan Hartman, forward, Chicago, Illinois.
Here's Bogosian, long shot, tipped by Hartman, and he scores! Ryan Hartman gets off the schneid, a deflection in front.
I don't know about you, from a fan standpoint, broadcaster standpoint, this season's flying by. I know there's been some adversity, ups and downs, but 44 games feel like they've gone in as a flash. How about for you as a guy that has to go through the rigmarole on a day in and day out basis?
Yeah, I feel like every year goes by pretty quick. This year especially has gone by really fast. Like you said, we're over halfway through, and we're happy at the spot where we've been the first half of the season. We want to continue that for the second half.
You've been around the block. You've seen the ins and outs of a 82-game grind. The injury situation that's going through this club right now. You ever been through any? I mean, it's one thing to go through injuries, but significant guy after significant guy. There's 4 main cornerstones of this franchise unavailable right now.
Yeah. This year we had some injury troubles last year. seems like, whenever we get someone back, we lose one or two right after going 10, 15 games without them. And, they're doing their best to get back as soon as possible. And we're doing our best to keep winning hockey games while they're out.
How about your game? I'm watching the numbers. Statistically, it feels like it's picked up a little bit here. 6 points in the last 7 games, a couple of goals as well. How have you felt that your game has progressed here as we get into the middle of January?
Turnover here. It'll be Hartman with Goudreau. A 2-on-1. Hartman in right circle, took a look, fires, and scores! Ryan Hartman, short side high, lasered it past the glove of Aiden Hill.
Good. Yeah, it's things are finding their way into that. Plays, we're getting more offense. I feel like it was there. They just weren't going in before, and obviously you got to ride those out. Those things kind of happen sometimes, and glad they're finally going in.
The 2-on-1 with Freddie. Did he have any shot at getting a pass on that one, or were you shooting the whole way?
No, I don't think so. I was pretty excited on shooting that puck. Yeah.
So we know the injury situation is the same thing last time the Oilers were in town. What do you guys need to do then to, as a collective unit, get past them tomorrow night in a nationally televised game and, back on home ice?
Yeah, make sure we get our fans in it right away. It's going to be a good atmosphere. It's a good team over there. I want to make sure we eliminate some of their speed and make sure we're ready to play some defense when we have to.
We're talking to Ryan Hartman, getting ready for the Wild and Oilers in St. Paul, Wednesday night hockey. Take me off the ice. The last year and change, what it's been like for you as you've been an adult for a while, but now you're doing adult-like stuff, getting married, having kids. Well, what's it been like in the Hartman household?
It's been awesome. Not that I wasn't ever excited to come home from the rink before. Now there's a little extra there to come home to, and growing really fast. You were saying how fast the season's gone by. He's been growing really fast. He's turning 5 months here, coming up in 2 days, and like I said, it's crazy to think that he's already 5 months old, and we're very lucky, and it's been an awesome year.
You say it's exciting to go back home. Jake Middleton, I think, was quoted as saying it's kind of nice to go on the road because I can sleep at night.
For sure, we've been very lucky. He's been a really good sleeper for us. He's been sleeping 12 hours a night since he was 2 months. So it's been really good for us. And obviously on game days and a lot of the days, my wife's taking the morning shift and letting me get some sleep. But that side, we've been lucky.
5 months old. I don't want to rush time, but have you thought what it's going to be like to be one of those dads in the stands watching your kid? As maybe it's basketball, maybe it's hockey. You're a well-rounded individual. I'm sure you're going to let your kid do whatever he wants to do. Have you thought about what it's going to be like to be a dad up against the glass potentially?
No. I haven't really thought about that yet.
Let me ask you this then. What was your dad like as a dad watching you as a kid, 10 years old, playing hockey and sitting in the stands?
He was great. He was definitely hard on me, and make sure I was working hard, and that was kind of the biggest thing was if I'm going to drive you here, you better show some effort. Otherwise, we don't have to be here type attitude. So that was kind of how I grew up, and I'm sure I'll try to implement those same things with him.
Last thing, because I know you are a big sports fan. I don't like the Chicago Bears, but I don't live in Chicago. You're a Bears fan. You're living in Minnesota. Do you have any sympathy for the folks here in purple that got their hearts squished again on Monday night?
I'd rather that than what the year we had.
Yeah.
So no, not really. Not really. You guys can come over here to us if you want.
Yeah.
It's not that much more fun over here.
Hey, good luck though. Help take these hockey fans and these Vikings fans. Give them something else to think about. Good luck here on Wednesday night.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Diehard Chicago Bears fan Ryan Hartman. Up next, we'll talk to Tom Reed. Get you the starting goaltenders and the lineup report. This is Wild Hockey presented by XL Energy.
is in Vegas.
Is heard across North America.
CMA and ACM Entertainer of the Year, Lainey Wilson. Bringing it on the Strip.
I'm headed straight home. Captured live exclusively for Sirius XM. Lainey Wilson. You ain't on your feet. Get your butt up. Hear it anytime at home with Sirius XM on your phone, computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now, with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter. Haaland scored the hat-trick.
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Dropped it back. Kaprizov scores! Beautiful passing play, and Kaprizov rips it upstairs.
He's bored out of his mind. Wants to get back, obviously. Very disappointed that he's been out. I mean, he loves the game, loves to compete, but he's going through his process, working hard and doing everything that he needs to do to get himself ready to go. It's just, he wants to play, so but his body will tell him when he's ready.
John Hines on Kirill Kaprizov. Tonight will be his 10th game missed with a lower body injury. Hasn't played since the Christmas break. Before we get to the goaltenders, the lineup report time, no Kirill Kaprizov, but I could just see him pacing back and forth like a caged animal. He doesn't want to do rehab. He wants to be playing hockey.
Well, yeah, he does. But you know what? They have to do what's best for him and best for the team also. We watched him this morning and skating. He looked like he was having fun out there, and he wants to have that fun again, but they're curtailing him right now. So a couple more days won't hurt.
All right, let's get the starting goaltenders presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Who goes tonight for Minnesota?
It's going to be Philip Gustafsson. He's going to get the chance once again. He's played Edmonton 3 times, and his record is 2-1-0 with a 4.12 goals against average. Pretty high, and also save percentage of just almost 89%. But he's a guy also, if you look at his last 7 decisions, he's gone 4-3-0 in that stretch, giving up 24 goals.
Tough week for him. He ended up suffering the loss in Vegas to the Golden Knights, but in that 4-1 defeat, it felt like the old Gus Bus was back, Tom.
Yeah, he went through a stretch there, Kevin, we've talked about this, where he just wasn't seeming at the top of his game. He seemed very tentative in the blue paint area, and I talked to Freddie Shabbat about it, and I said he's playing deep in it. He said, actually, he's playing too far out sometimes, and so they're trying to get that regulated, and sometimes that's where film is so good, where you can watch it and you can see exactly what you're doing.
Gustafsson for Minnesota. Who goes for the Oil?
Well, Calvin Picker's going to get the call on this one. His 10th year now, his second with Edmonton. In the 16 games he's played, he's won 10 of those. He's got 10-4-0 with 2.50 goals against average. In his last 7 decisions, he has given up 18 goals. So we'll see how he performs tonight.
All right, Tom, thank you.
Thank you.
Gustafsson versus Picard. Those are your starting goaltenders presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Talk to the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts about your New Year's car resolutions at your O'Reilly Auto Parts store or online at O'ReillyAuto.com. Joe O'Donnell joins next. This is Wild Hockey presented by XL Energy.
It's soccer's most thrilling league.
Only the Premier League can make you feel like this.
And now every match is on the Sirius XM app.
Can you believe it?
From the title race.
This is remarkable. Keeps this title charge on track, surely.
To the relegation fight.
The impossible may still be possible.
Hear every English Premier League match on the Sirius XM app and talk about all the EPL drama on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now, with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter. Haaland scored the hat-trick.
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Seguin lost it to Shifley. Shifley with 2-on-1. Shifley scores!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Following is an exclusive presentation of the Minnesota Wild, the National Hockey League, and the Minnesota Wild Radio Network.
of hockey and friends, and welcome to XL Energy Center here in St. Paul, Minnesota, where tonight the Wild are back on home ice as they entertain the Edmonton Oilers. Glad to have you along. Welcome aboard, friends. Joe O'Donnell and Tom Reed here with you. And TR for the Wild. This is a tough test tonight. Again, a bit undermanned, specifically on the blue line against one of the best offenses in the league over recent years. As well, again, this year they are filling up the back of the net of the Edmonton Oilers. And I heard you say on the pregame show with Kevin, you really think it needs to be a team effort defensively tonight. Why?
Yeah, but because that's how you beat this hockey club. They've got some firepower. We know that. They're good in the back end. They're good in the front end as well. So you really have to play as a team right now, as a group. And that's where the communication, Joe, is so important on the ice. They have to be talking to each other to make sure everything is covered on the ice. And, you talk about paying attention to detail, do the detail work, and you have to do that. But it starts once you step on that ice and it's your turn to go.
What impresses you the most about Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl so you see him for the third and final time this season?
Well, I'll be glad when I'm done seeing them because, they're dynamic players. They really are. And they bring something a little bit different, each one of them. And you look at Connor McDavid, he's the talk of the world. And you look at Draisaitl, what he has brought to the table this year. He's a guy who competes. He's a big body also. He can win draws. He does it all. They both do. And, of course, if you take those two people out of the lineup, how good are they going to be?
The Wild come in 27-13-4, second in the Central Division, third in the Western Conference. Sunday, that 4-1 loss in Vegas didn't feel like a 4-1 game. The Wild led 1-0 after 20 minutes. But they had just 16 shots in the hockey game. Vegas got 3 in the third to win it. Just the fourth regulation road loss for the Wild this season. Oilers come in 27-13-3. 1 point back in Minnesota in the Western Conference. They have 57 points. Monday, they shut out the Kings 1-0 as Connor McDavid got his 72nd career game-winning goal. Tied for the most ever in Oilers history. Stuart Skinner pitched a 30-save shutout as the Oilers got their 15th home win of the year. Edmonton's won back-to-back in 6 of 7. The Wild trying to get back in the win column. After that loss Sunday in Vegas, Minnesota's dropped 2 of its last 3 games following a 4-game win streak. The puck drop next here in St. Paul. The season series rubber match. The Wild won the first one in Edmonton. The Oilers beat the Wild here in this building on December the 12th. Opening face-off after this. You're listening to Wild Hockey presented by XL Energy.
There's only one thing better than going to a Minnesota Wild game, and for me, that's breakfast. My breakfast always has to include Thomas's. They've got the crispy, warm nooks and crannies of a Thomas's English muffin, or sometimes I'll go with a crunchy on the outside Thomas's bagel. For me, Thomas's is the best way to start my day, and it should be yours too. With over 130 years of breakfast under their belt, Thomas's is ready to bring your breakfast to another level, because with Thomas's, breakfast tastes better.
Hey Wild fans, Minnesota-based and family-owned Old Dutch Foods has been creating taste sensations for generations of hometown Wild fans for over 90 years. Stock up on your favorite Old Dutch game day snacks at your local grocery stores to make game day a win. Old Dutch is a proud supporter of Wild hockey. Let's go Wild.
Old Dutch potato chips. Old Dutch, the snappy chips.
Old Dutch, quality lives here.
Snappy Old Dutch potato chips.
This is Wild General Manager Bill Guerin. I try to be at every Minnesota Wild game, but when I can't, I tune in to Joe O'Donnell and Tom Reed. In the Twin Cities, it's FM 100.3 KFAN. Online, stream it at wild.com or use the official Minnesota Wild app. It's that easy, and they're on the air every night, bringing you Minnesota Wild hockey, exclusively on the Minnesota Wild Radio Network.
Sebastian Maniscalco.
Now, is this a family? Is this your mother? Where is she? Is she in the crowd? The mom's up there. What kind of family is this? I'm sorry.
It Ain't Right Tour 2025.
The poor mother is in the balcony, and the kids are down here with the father and his gumad. If this was the 80s, the kids would have been up there, and the parents would have been down here.
Sebastian Maniscalco, live on stage in St. Paul, XL Energy Center, Friday, February 14th. Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com.
Lock it in and turn it up. Wild Hockey starts now. Wild Hockey on your radio is presented in part by
Toyota, official vehicle of the Minnesota Wild. Anderson Windows and Doors. Love the life you see. Your Bryant Heating and Cooling dealers, doing whatever it takes since 1904. DC National Guard Emergency Service Ribbon, and the National Guard Defense Service Medal. Sergeant Austin Agard, thank you for all you do for our country. Now, please sing loud and proud as John leads us in the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare and the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
This is oil country.
McDavid, now, with the call of tonight's exclusive NHL broadcast, Bob Stauffer and Cam Moon on the Oilers Radio Network.
Oilers start a 3-game road trip. They're here in Minnesota to face the Wild. Good evening, Cam Moon, along with Bob Stauffer, Bryn Griffiths, Rob Brown, Jack Michaels, Brendan Escott. We are the Oilers Radio Network, and our starting lineup is brought to you by Coventry Homes. Flexibility within reach. Get back in the game with customizable designs by Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers. For the Oilers up front, it'll be Connor McDavid with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman. On defense, Matthias Ekholm and Evan Bouchard. In goal, it's Calvin Pickard. For the Wild, Marco Rossi in the middle with Matt Boldy and Matt Zuccarello. On defense, Declan Chisholm and Zach Bogosian. In goal, it's Philip Gustafson. The referees are Chris Lee and Dan O'Rourke, Brian Pansich and Brandon Garlitz. They're on the lines as we get ready to go here at the XL Energy Center. And we've dropped the puck. We are underway. It's dumped into the Wild zone. Chisholm on the end boards, run into by Hyman. Puck comes free to McDavid to the point. Blasted on net, and the save by Gustafson as Bouchard drilled it towards the goal.
Could have been a trip 3 seconds into the game. Nugent-Hopkins right at center ice, got inside position, had a chance for a fast break, and got cleaved, no call, and then McDavid picks it up, and a high slot shot from Evan Bouchard. Fortunately, no deflection on the play. Marco Rossi, averaging almost a point per game. They look to this line with Rossi and Boldy to get things going here for Minnesota. Down Kirill Kaprizov up front.
Cleared out to center ice. Nugent-Hopkins to Bouchard. Now to Nugent-Hopkins. That center ice line will dump it in. It'll rim to the right wing corner. Off the skates of Declan Chisholm. He's up against the boards. Hyman is in there. They got it pinned up in the corner. Zach Hyman gets it free. Can get it to the left wing point for Matthias Ekholm. Across to Bouchard on the right. Down the right wing boards to McDavid. Comes up to the blue line. Gives it to Bouchard. Down the left side. Top of the circle. Now to McDavid. Goes into the corner. In behind the Minnesota net. In front. A shot off the arm of Gustafson as Hyman with the opportunity. The puck at the top of the circles, and Boldy will get it down the ice. That's going to go for icing against the Wild. Minute 6 gone here in a scoreless first.
Well, good start for Edmonton. Sustained zone time for the opening minute and 6 of this game, and already 2 real good looks. One for Bouchard from the point, even a better chance for Zach Hyman. And out comes Draisaitl. He's been a killer against Minnesota this year. He's got 2 goals and 5 points in the 2 games.
First in goals in the NHL is Draisaitl. Second in points with 64. And he's got points in 3 straight. Face off to the right of Gustafson. Bogosian off the right wing board. Zuccarello at center ice will dump it the rest of the way. Minnesota can make the change they're looking for. And out from behind the net is Brad Kulak. up the right wing. Poked off his stick. Middleton with it in his own zone for the Wild. To Merrill, up the right. And now comes out to center ice to Hartman. In over the Edmonton line towards the goal. That's wide. Hits the corner boards. Cleared out by Arvidsson. Merrill to Hartman. All the way across to Eriksson Ek. Off the left wing glass and in. Calvin Pickard out to play it. Rims the puck. Eriksson Ek's got it in his skates. Can swing it back to the point. Merrill will get it towards the goal. Looking for Hartman. Hartman got tied up. Penalty coming up to the Oilers. As
that's a weak call.
Nurse will touch it. And the Oilers, a minute and 58 seconds. You got it. Scoreless first.
You got to be kidding me. Sitting there tripping a guy 3 seconds into a game right in front of you. And Nurse is shaking his head, and he should be.
So the penalty kill.
Edmonton 25, 2 minutes for hooking.
Heads out there.
Barely touched him on the hook. All right, so Minnesota's power play, by the way, 24th in the league at 18.2%. The Oilers' penalty killing is the best in the league since November the 9th, but it's still only 24th in the league overall. So think about that. It's been the best in the league for several months, or for a couple months here now, several weeks. But that's how bad it was to start the year.
Chisholm with a shot glove saved by Pickard. Yeah, it was a tough out of the gate for the Oilers on the PK.
They're using Declan Chisholm on the power play. They're down, obviously. Faber and Spurgeon would be options to them.
Puck goes to Ekholm. He'll rim it up the left wing and all the way down the ice. Oiler penalty kill. Brought to you by Napa Auto Parts, proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Henrique and Nugent Hopkins, and then we'll see Brown and Janmark and possibly put Colson along with Kapanen.
Boldy in over the Edmonton line to Eriksson Ek to the right corner. He gets checked, and there is Matthias Ekholm. He'll get it all the way down the ice. Gustafsson to Chisholm, and it'll go in behind the Minnesota net up the left wing. It's away from Brown. Across to Boldy, now to Rossi, to Zuccarello on the left wing, to the right wing point. Boldy to Chisholm on the left wing. Zuccarello towards the net, and it just skips over the stick of Rossi on the right side. Puck goes to the boards. Poked it behind the Edmonton goal. Zuccarello on the left wing. Give it to Eriksson Ek, now to Boldy off the right wing boards. Walks to the middle, scores. Matt Boldy came off the right wing, goes short side upstairs. It's a power play goal. It's 1-0 for the Wild.
Well, the guy is a goal scorer. He's got a lot of talent. I don't love that goal on Calvin Pickard. Shot right through the legs on Marco Rossi. Tough one to pick up. And Boldy, who's had 63 and 69 points the last 2 years, has his 17th goal of the season. It's a power play goal.
3:02, the time of it. And the Wild with a good start. They're up 1-0. Philp, Kapanen, and Perry get out there for
it's a half-ass penalty call. There's no other way to say it. You sat there and decided not to call a trip right at the start of the game, and then his initial gut reaction wasn't give the penalty, and then he changed his mind and called it.
Juracek in the right corner of his zone for the Wild. Gets checked on the play, and it's Perry in behind the net. He'll center it, and it goes off of Philp to the right wing point. Bouchard shot blocked by Foligno, and it comes out. 1-0 for the Wild here in the first. Boldy, the goal scorer, is 17th of the year. Perry off the left wing boards it in. Eriksson Ek and Zuccarello pick up the assist. Puck on the right side. Kapanen to the point, a bouncing puck over the stick of Josh Brown. Pickard out to play it, and he gave it away. The shot saved by Pickard. Coming back to the net. What a chance there for the Wild. It's cleared out. Pickard had to scurry back into his net and keep it out.
Well, he turned the puck over a couple times in Chicago, and that one almost came back to bite him.
Goes to the right corner. Eriksson Ek put it towards the net off the stick of Pickard. Comes back to him. He'll cover it. 4 minutes, 5 seconds gone here in the first. 1-0 Wild lead. It came really close to making it 2-0. Pickard went to play it. He put it off the boards, but it didn't get out.
Edmonton had total puck possession deep in the offensive zone, and Kapanen threw an absolute grenade back to the point. I mean, that was a tough pass for Josh Brown. to get to. And Zuccarello, this guy lights the Oilers up for fun. He now has 27 points in 24 career games against Edmonton.
Face off to the left of Pickard. Last game was Saturday in Chicago. It was a 4-3 win. He had 19 saves. McDavid will take the draw. Tied for 6th in the NHL with 59 points.
Oilers have got McDavid and Draisaitl on the ice here early.
It didn't take long. Comes to center. It's Draisaitl. Now to McDavid. To Draisaitl on the left. Couldn't get a shot away. Hartman got his stick in there.
That's a hook. Like if you're going to call it both ways.
Eriksson Ek on the left wing to Johansson. Off the left wing. Boards it in. Up the left wing. Draisaitl. Put it off the skate of McDavid. Johansson will shoot it back in. Rims in the Oilers zone. Hartman on the right. Shot goes off of Ekholm. He'll get it out. Down the right wing to Hyman. In over the Wild line. Stops on the right wing. Out of the corner to McDavid. Now to Draisaitl. Top of the circle to the point. It will come out. Oilers have to regroup. Brought in by McDavid. Down the right wing. Shoots just wide of the net. Rims on the left. Kept in on the point by Kulak. Behind the goal. Tied up was Hyman. Puck gets to the corner. Kuznetsov gets it up the right wing. Finds Devon Shore. Shore into the Oiler end on the right. Taken off of it by Kulak. 1-0 Minnesota. Just over 5 minutes gone here in the first period. Nugent Hopkins to center. Lift it in. Bounce to the corner. Bogosian goes in behind the net, and he gives it away. It gets into the slot. Now over to the right. Arvidsson shot. That goes off a leg. Back to the point. Josh Brown across to Kulak. Blasted on goal. The save by Gustafsson. The puck comes free. Brown keeps it in on the right wing point. Goes off of Arvidsson. It's in behind the goal. To the left for Podkolzin. To the left wing point. Kulak towards the net. Knocked down by Chisholm. Nugent Hopkins trying to dig it free.
And he's looking for a penalty. Holy
cow. Clear it out.
These guys are having a rough start.
Josh Brown with it inside his own end. It's about 6 minutes gone here in the first. 1-0 Minnesota leads. Through the middle. Nurse snaps a pass to Henry. Directs it in. Gustafsson out to play it. Left wing corner. Got the puck on the left side. And it's cleared out by Dermott down the ice. But Gustafsson got knocked down behind the play. It's going to be a tripping call against the Oilers. Janmark's about to go to the box.
Well, he gave him an easy one to call there. Trips the goaltender. Going off.
We'll take a break.
Meyer penalty 13. Tripping.
1-0 Wild lead the Oilers. 6 minutes, 11 seconds gone here in the first. From the XL Energy Center here in St. Paul, it's Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Hockey is back, and so is Play Alberta. Alberta's #1 sports book and the official partner of the Edmonton Oilers. Cheer for the Oilers while scoring bigger offers, boosted odds, live betting, player props, and more. New to Alberta? New players now receive $200 in free bets just for signing up. Already a player? Get a $10 free bet for every $100 you bet. Download the new Sportsbook app and make your picks today. Bonus terms and conditions apply.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown & Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown & Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
RS Breakers and Controls, Canada's leader in new, used, tested, and obsolete circuit breakers, MCC buckets, bus plugs, and switches. They have everything you need to maintain your aging electrical infrastructure, ensuring it operates as good as new. Their 24/7 emergency response gets you back up and running quickly, saving valuable time and money. Minimal generators or modifications needed, and like-for-like replacements mean no special inspections. Don't replace, repair your legacy equipment with RS. Visit rsbreakers.com.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Cam Moon and Bob Stauffer here at the XL Energy Center. Wild up 1-0 on the Oilers. 6:11 gone in the first. Matthias Janmark off for tripping. Oilers shorthanded. Second time in the game. And the penalty kill brought to you by Napa Auto Parts, proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Need a kill here if you're Edmonton.
Minnesota 1-for-1 with a man advantage. Face off to the right of Pickard. Rossi taking the draw. It's up against Henry. Up the left wing and all the way down the ice. Up the wing and all the way down the ice. Enrique.
85% on penalty on face-offs.
One of them's in St. Paul.
Bloom Benefits offers amazing coverage that even the toughest hockey players can get behind. With excellent coverage, they offer things like massage. You want to go? Counseling services. Let's go. Dental coverage. That was not offside. And eye exams. With custom health coverage for any group of any size, Bloom Benefits make every team better, stronger, and healthier. Plans start from just $54 a month. Rethink your benefits today at bloombenefits.ca.
Score big with the unmatched purity of Clearwater Vodka, the perfect companion for Oilers fans. Crafted with the pristine waters of Alberta, it's a sip of local excellence. Clearwater Vodka, where the spirit of the game meets true Alberta quality. Must be 18 plus. Please drink responsibly.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
1-0 Minnesota leading the Oilers with 9:32 to go in the first period. Cam Moon along with Bob Stauffer. Tonight's Heroes of Oil Country Mega 50-50 presented by Rogers is supporting veterans and their families through the Homes for Heroes Foundation and the Wounded Warriors Canada. Get your tickets at edmontonoilers.com/5050 to support the brave veterans who served our country. Face off to the right of Calvin Pickard. Matt Boldy, the goal scorer, was on the power play. It was 3:02 into this first. Oilers able to kill off another penalty after that, and then had a lot of opportunity. Hasn't been able to get one by Gustafsson yet, as Emerson flips the puck out of the zone. Bogosian won't get it out, as Podkolzin providing the pressure, goes to the middle, and Foligno there for Minnesota. Will skate up the right wing. One hands it into the Oiler end. Trennan runs into Emberson and behind the Edmonton net. Foligno on the end boards trying to protect it. Draisaitl got it loose. Goes into the corner. Goodrow up against the boards with Kulak. Goes to Trennan. Has it on the left wing. From the angle, blocker save made by Pickard. Draisaitl up the right wing boards to Arvidsson. He'll go cross ice for Podkolzin. Couldn't get his pass to Emberson.
They're leaning on this line a bit. That more physical second line.
Off the stick of Arvidsson, it goes out of play in the neutral zone.
You know I love Marcus Foligno. He's a hard-hitting player. Right now the shots are 10-5 for Minnesota. Now they've had 2 power plays and 5 shots on goal, and those 2 power plays have got themselves a goal. McDavid's had time and space to make plays in the O-zone. You knew they were going to hard match Eriksson Ek against McDavid 5v5.
That's who's out there right now. On both sides of the ledgers. The puck to center ice, and it's Bouchard. He'll shoot it in. Hits something on the boards. Bounces around in the corner. And now out with it. Johansson through center ice. Softly off the left wing boards into the Oilers zone it goes. Eriksson Ek could not get it back to the blue line. This time it does come out, and it's Middleton to Merrill. Merrill will dump it in. Rims on the right. Bouchard has it. Wilder offside. They got to tag up. Bouchard drops to McDavid, gathers speed, comes in over the line, over to the left. Nugent Hopkins shot, and that hit a stick. It goes over to the right wing. Bouchard on the right wing point, put towards the net, skipped it on goal. Gustafsson had to be sharp. That one was redirected as Nugent Hopkins on the right wing. To the blue line to Bouchard. Down the left wing to Ekholm. From the angle, save made by Gustafsson. Will hold on with 7:47 to go in the first. 1-0 Wild lead.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins drafted in this building. Number 1 back in 2011. Longest-serving Oiler player.
We were discussing that with him this morning.
Yes.
Yeah. Face off to the right of Gustafsson. Puck gets to the left wing point. Nurse from the angle, the shot. Gustafsson, the save. Holds onto it.
times the Oilers have passed up the higher caliber look, I think. Edmonton comes into this game in terms of shooting percentage. Think about it. 2 years ago, they're the best shooting percentage in the NHL. They're 23rd in the league right now in shooting percentage. And despite that, they've moved up to 7th in the league, or 8th in the league in goals for. And since November the 23rd, they're the highest scoring team in the NHL.
Face off to the right of Gustafsson. The shot off the draw by Connor Brown didn't get through. Juracek behind his net. McDermott up the left wing. Travis Dermott, former Oiler, got it out. Nurse inside his own zone. Through the middle. Janmark, he'll shoot it in. Juracek get behind the net. The left wing to Boldy, put it back into the corner, and it's Janmark to break it up for the Oilers. To the point, Brown shot, that hit somebody, bounces in front right across the crease, and Rossi will bring it up the right wing for the Wild. Rossi, the Zuccarello went off his stick. Oilers right back in. Henrique with it, left wing for Kapanen. Tried to put it across the line, it hit Boldy, and Boldy brings it out. Boldy to Zuccarello into the Oiler end, goes to the right wing corner. To the point for Bogosian. On the right wing to Rossi. Behind the net, Zuccarello. Kulak breaks it up. Gives it to Josh Brown up the right wing, or make that Philp up the right wing. We'll get it out. Capping it off the boards and in. 6:35 to go in the first. 1-0 Wild lead. A goal by Matt Boldy. Capping it in the corner. Chops it over to the left wing. Devin Shore will get it up near the blue line. Also a former Oiler. He does get it out. Emerson inside the Oilers zone. So Rice, that goes off the skate of Philp. Puck brought in. It's Jones for the Wild. Shot towards the net. Steered aside by the stick of Pickard. Emerson.
Get a change here.
Behind the net to Bouchard. The Oilers will make a change as Bouchard waits in behind the Edmonton goal. Draisaitl, Podkolzin, and Arvidsson trio gets out there. And it's Bouchard through the middle of the ice. Up to center to Arvidsson. Into the Minnesota end to the right corner. Went off his stick to the corner. Trennan will turn it up the middle for Minnesota. Right wing, Gaudreau to center ice. Float it into the Oiler end. Pickard to the corner. Goes off of Foligno. Kicks it to Trennan. He'll shoot it. And the save made by Pickard. He'll hold on. 5:32 to go here in the first period. 1-0 Wild lead the Oilers. We'll take a break from the XL Energy Center here in St. Paul. It's Ford Dealers, NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Hey folks, Paul Brandt here. I love being an Albertan, and I love Ford trucks. And I know that like hard-working Albertans across this great province, there's a Ford truck for everyone. Like Super Duty. It's what I like to call a workhorse. A truck built for heavy-duty performance and getting the job done. Now that's a truck to live and work by. So whatever you're working on, you'll know that the 2024 Ford Super Duty's got the goods. Get yours today at your Alberta Ford dealer. Just tell them PB sent you.
For years now, we've been warning Edmontonians on the hazards of our stormwater facilities. While they may appear to look like still ponds, there is moving water beneath the surface, which makes the ice dangerously... The unpredictability of stormwater facilities makes them treacherously unsafe for all winter activities, even walking. So think twice. Don't go on the ice. A safety message from EPCOR.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists? The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need, when you need it, 24/7, 365, every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Cam Moon and Bob Stauffer. We're here in the Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Legacy Heating and Cooling, home and no payments, no interest for 1 year. 1-0 Wild lead. 5:32 to go in the first period. Oilers take on the Minnesota Wild here tonight. Start of a 3-game trip. Tomorrow in Colorado, Saturday in Vancouver. Oilers back at home on Tuesday the 21st. The Washington Capitals come to town.
And Man, they are a team right now. They're house on fire. Look out.
Back to the point. Left point. Chisholm will take a snapshot. Blocked in front of the Edmonton net by Josh Brown. Goodrow gets it on the left wing. Behind the net to Foligno. Couldn't get it through to Goodrow. Went off of Josh Brown. We got it tied up in behind the Edmonton goal. Nurse trying to dig it out of some skates. Goodrow got it free. Up the left wing to Trennan. His shot off of Pickard. Puck into the corner. Josh Brown to Arvidsson. Feeds it to the middle to Draisaitl. Gets to center ice. Into the Minnesota zone. Now to the middle of the... in behind the play.
Brown's going to the box.
Yeah, Brown was into it with Trennan after the puck got to the middle, and Podkolzin was about to get an opportunity in the high slot.
Edmonton's going to get the lone penalty here. Brown's going to get the call, and they're going to get their third power play of the game. They let him hit him from behind, and Trennan showed some discipline. Brown got frustrated.
And it negated an opportunity for the Oilers. They had it right in the high slot.
Edmonton, minor penalty, 44, roughing.
Third power play of the period for the Wild. They're 1 for 2 with a man advantage. Oiler penalty kill brought to you by Napa Auto Parts, proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
It's a penalty.
Oh, yeah. Ace off to the right of Pickard. Chisholm on the left point. Comes across. Boldy's shot. And that pinball's off a leg. Goes wide. Sent to the line. Chisholm kept it in. To the right side. Now to Boldy. Top of the circle. Goes to the middle. Left wing to Zuccarello. He'll cross a saucer. It has to be gloved down. Chisholm back to the point to Boldy. A snapshot. That's blocked. And it's cleared out by Henry. Gustafson will set it. Chisholm comes out from behind his net. Left wing for Rossi. Up the right side to Boldy. Then lost it. Connor Brown will come into the Wild zone for Edmonton. He stops on the left wing. He'll shoot it. And that's off the shoulder of Gustafson.
Good shot.
It's a riser.
He scored a beauty here, the 7-1 game back in December.
Zuccarello off the right wing boards into the Oilers zone to Eriksson Ek. Stops in the corner. Now behind the net, Zuccarello to the right wing point to Boldy. Into the corner, Zuccarello to the blue line. Chisholm, Zuccarello, top of the circle right side. We'll give it to Boldy. Makes a little move. Will work to the net. In front, scores. Rossi off the left wing after a great setup by Boldy. It's a power play goal. It's 2-0 for the Wild. Boldy made quite a move out of the right wing corner.
Yeah, it was a nice play. Oilers got caught running around a bit. And Kulak couldn't pick up the guy on the backside, and Connor Brown slid down to support, and Rossi rammed one home for his 17th of the year. 2 power play goals.
Yep.
3 power plays in this game for Minnesota, none for Edmonton. Missed call 3 seconds into the game. Missed call right after the first Minnesota power play. The Oilers got to kill them off too, and they haven't been able to.
Rossi from Boldy and Zuccarello. 16-11, time of the goal. It's 2-0 for the Wild. The left wing goes off of Johansson to the Edmonton blue line. Scoop to center ice. It's McDavid to Draisaitl. Into the Wild zone across to Hyman. He's in. He scores! Zach Hyman goes 5-hole on Gustafson. Fanned on the shot, and it still went in. And the Oilers have cut the Wild lead to 2-1.
Well, Edmonton loads up their top line, and they respond immediately. And the Oilers get a bit of a fortuitous break. As Cam mentioned, rolling puck, 3-way passing play, McDavid to Draisaitl, and McDavid drives the lane. That opens up a seam for a pass through the middle to Hyman, and he takes it hard to the hole. And on the backhand, puck rolls off a Goodrow stick on the backdraft into the net. And Zach Hyman has scored for Edmonton.
16:32, time of that goal. So 21 seconds after the goal by Rossi. Hyman will get his 15th of the year. Down the left wing, it's Draisaitl. He'll pull to the middle. His shot just off the glove of Gustafson. Into the right wing corner it goes. McDavid up against the boards. John Merrill, puck top of the circles now. Inside the Wild zone to the point. It's Bouchard. Left wing to Ekholm. Devin Bouchard across the line to Draisaitl. Makes the move, comes down the right wing to McDavid, and knocked off. His stick comes out, but the Oilers still have it.
That stick came up high there from Hartman. Got away with it.
McDavid in on the left. He'll go to the middle. The backhand. The save made by Gustafsson. He'll cover it up.
Okay.
With 2:40 to go here.
If we're going to have any consistency in the calls, Merrill's got to get a penalty here. Came right back and went at Hyman. These guys.
Draisaitl, McDavid get the assist on the Hyman goal. 2:40 to go here in the first.
Hyman with a little bit of a rub on Merrill, and then Merrill and Eriksson Ek go right after the whistle. Like, this game's got some bite to it here.
It does. It's good. More fun that way. Nugent Hopkins will take the draw in the Wild zone. To the right of Gustafsson. Up against Frederick Goodrow. Puck goes into the corner. Bogosian for the Wild. Into the air. Bounces off of Trennan. Foligno will dump it in on the backhand. Nurse into the corner. Takes a hit. Goodrow takes the puck. Back to the point. The shot by Bogosian. Pad save by Pickard. And up the right wing. It's Arvidsson out of the Oiler end for Edmonton. Right side. Now to puck pulls and goes into the corner. Sweeps it around to the left wing point to Nurse. Out of the left wing corner. Nugent Hopkins is shot off the outside of the post from a sharp angle. Puck sent to the line, but past Nurse. It goes down into the Oiler end.
If I'm Chris Knobloch, I'm asking or Connor McDavid at the end of the period, I got to say something.
Shot into the Wild zone. Gustafsson left corner to Dermott. It goes behind the net. Arvidsson's going to get away. Now Juracek hauls him down. Penalty coming up. And David Juracek will go to the box. At minute 52 to go here in the first. The Edmonton Oilers about to go on the power play.
Oilers again, the number one ranked power play in the league since November the 23rd. They've moved up to 8th overall at 24.3%. Minnesota's
55, 2 minutes for holding.
71.6%, 29th. And the Oilers got them twice early in the 7-1 game, and Arvidsson sold that one a little. I don't think Juracek got much of a piece of them, but frankly, there's been some other more egregious sequences in this game.
Power play. It's brought to you by Atco Energy, your trusted energy retailer. Learn more at atcoenergy.com. 2-1 Wild lead. Minute 52 to go in the first. Great to have you on board wherever you are along the Oilers radio network this evening. Face off to the right of Gustafsson. Draisaitl against Goodrow. Puck goes to the point. Bouchard walks it to the middle. Now on the left to Nugent Hopkins. To Bouchard. To Nugent Hopkins. A shot off the arm of Gustafsson. Recovered by Hyman and Nugent Hopkins to the point to Bouchard. To Nugent Hopkins. To Bouchard in the middle on the blue line. He'll drill it wide. Nugent Hopkins across. McDavid scores! Connor McDavid gets the pass from Nugent Hopkins to power play goal, and this game's tied at 2.
Great luck from Ryan Nugent Hopkins there. I mean, just a beauty. And we're evened up.
18:28, time of that. As Connor McDavid gets his 18th of the year. Fairly sharp angle, but great pass by Nugent Hopkins.
That's 2 sharp angle shot goals from McDavid the last 2 games.
Puts McDavid just a point back of Jari Kurri for second all time in Oilers points, as he's now at 1,042.
Bouchard will get the second assist on that goal.
Oilers have tied things up here in the first period. We got lots going on. Puck dumped into the Wild zone. On the left wing boards, it's sent in front to Brown, but off a stick, goes over the stick of Brown. Rossi will clear it. Dump back in. Chiseled. Cross to Bogosian through the middle off of Rossi. He got it out. Now it gets to Boldy. He'll bring it in. Boldy on the left wing, a shot, and it's blocked by Kulak. He'll get it back all the way to the right point. Bogosian in behind the net to Boldy. Last minute here in the first. Tied it 2. The Oilers in the Wild. Puck cleared out by Brown. Center center ice to Zuccarello. At center, he'll shoot it in. Puck rims on the right wing. Rossi, 45 seconds going to period. It's Zuccarello in the right corner. Comes in front of the net off the stick of Pickard, but into the corner for Connor Brown. Wild will back right off. In fact, we'll make some changes as up the right wing comes Draisaitl. Tried to make a move at the blue line. Lost it to Rossi. Through the middle of the ice. Bounces off a few skates. Over to Hartman on the right wing. He'll float it in. Josh Brown rimming on the right. Corey Perry to the middle. 15 seconds to go in the period. Ekholm up the left wing. It comes in on the left side. McDavid into the corner. Went off his stick. Middleton will take it in behind the net. Rim on the left to Merrill. Eriksson Ek won't get it out. Puck to the middle of the ice. Draisaitl, and he got it to the point. Ekholm let it go, but the whistle had gone, or the horn had gone, and the period comes to an end. And the Edmonton Oilers and the Minnesota Wild are tied up at 2 after an eventful first period.
Well, eventful because of the amount of penalties we saw in that period. I mean, that's just stay out of the box. Didn't love some of the calls, to be frank with you. Some would say if you listen to these broadcasts over the years, that would be a reoccurring theme. Losers lament to complain about officiating. The Oilers got a nice even strength goal and then ended up breaking through in the power play to even up the game. So
we got Zach Hyman downstairs, Cam Moon, and Bob Stauffer upstairs. Zach, that was some first period. How'd you see it?
Obviously, high event. Lots of power play. I mean, it's just you don't often get 3 PKs in one power play in a period.
Yeah. No, you don't, and you don't. The broadcasters got to say that kind of stuff, but it's just you guys have been a team that's been able to. You've been really good in the second period. You've made good adjustments. You've got a veteran, poised, experienced team here, and I think that probably helps you in situations like when you're down 3-0 in terms of power play opportunities 15 minutes into a game.
Yeah, we know we just got to keep working, and then it'll turn. I mean, we're down 2-0 and able to find a way to claw back before the period ends. So I thought it was a good finish to the period.
Well, no different than that game in Chicago, down 3-1, and just that poise and the veteran savvy that you guys have. How important is it to have that type of experience, I guess, on the bench to know even if you're down in a game early, there's time and ability to come back?
Yeah, no, there's no panic. It's hockey. If you play hard, the penalties usually even out by the end of it. So just continue to work out there. You can't control that, and just make the most of your opportunities.
Thanks, Zach.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Right on. There was Zach Hyman downstairs. Oilers and Wild tied it 2 after 1. It was a roller coaster ride in that first period, Bob.
Yeah, it was.
I laughed, I cried, it had everything.
All right, Sally. But
hey, I wasn't the guy complaining about the refs all period.
No, that was Bob.
That was Bob.
But what I will say is this: the Oilers earned 2 of those 3 penalties. The issue isn't that they got 3 power. I didn't like the call on Nurse, you know that, but there were opportunities on quick little grabs and hooks the other ways that they missed, and then they called the one on Juracek. I mean, he's a rookie, and Arvidsson sold it, so you knew that one was coming up.
I thought it was the loser's lament.
It is a loser's lament. All right, so let's move on. But what I will say is, we're tied at 2 in a game in which Edmonton was down 2-0 and it had been touched up a bit on the PK. So, see what kind of... They don't look like they can contain when they put McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman. They just simply cannot contain that line. And why would they when they don't have Faber, Brodin, and Spurgeon, right? Like, that's a very difficult matchup. Like, there are people that think if the 2 teams are completely healthy, Edmonton's better than Minnesota. I will tell you, I've got a lot of respect for how good this Minnesota team is. This has been a tough matchup for Edmonton. They've had some other games where it'd still be 2-0 after 1.
Yeah.
They're at 2-2. Go turn it. Go get her going in period number 2.
Yep, a lot of positives there to come back from a 2-0 deficit, and that's where we are. Tied at 2 after 1 period. It was Boldy and Rossi for the Wild, Hyman and McDavid for the Oilers, and it's Bryn Griffiths and Rob Brown in the first intermission. When we come back, tied at 2 after 1 from the XL Energy Center. Sport Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, hockey fans! Hard rubber works well on the ice rink, but not so good on frozen roads. Aturo tires are engineered with that in mind. Scientifically designed tread patterns, along with resilient rubber compounds, allow Aturo tires to grip well in the cold of winter, while providing excellent traction and long tread life through year-round conditions. Aturo has the all-weather tire for you. Available at Action Car and Tire, Point S, and tire shops everywhere. Find a dealer near you at atturo.com.
It's our YEG with 880 Chad.
This year, during Edmonton School Board PD Days, the Alberta Aviation Museum is letting young enthusiasts' imagination take flight with a series of camp adventures ideal for ages 6 to 11. Find out more at albertaaviationmuseum.com. Then saddle up for 4 days of phenomenal country as Big Valley Jamboree returns to Camrose with headliners Bailey Zimmerman, Blake Shelton, Jason Aldean, and more. Tickets on sale now.
For details on these and more events, visit 880ched.com. At the intermission, brought to you by Hand of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
The left wing goes off of Johansson to the Edmonton blue line. Scoop to center ice. It's McDavid to Draisaitl. Into the wild zone across to Hyman. He's in. He scores! Zach Hyman goes 5-hole on Gustafsson. Fanned on the shot and it still went in.
Boy, did they need that one. 30 seconds after the Wild take a 2-0 lead. The Oilers bounce back with Hyman's 15th of the season, 5-hole, make it 2-1, and then score a little bit later on, around a minute and 56 seconds later, to tie it up at 2. That's your highlight zone, brought to you by Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos with 3 great locations in Edmonton, St. Albert, and right next door to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the Winter Zone. Welcome to our first intermission here on 880 Ched. Bryn Griffiths in Studio B along with Rob Brown. Wow, that was I really don't know how to describe that period. It was a bit of everything, Brownie.
It was. The Minnesota Wild, if you are missing as many defensemen as they are, the one way to get yourself out of trouble is be good on the forecheck. Keep the puck in the opposite end. And they did that for, the first half of the period. They benefited from winning battles and getting power plays. Their power play was exceptional. I mean, their power play was fantastic in that period. But the Oilers, when they got their chances, when they got their feet moving, they started going back in the right direction. I thought entertaining period. But as the period wore on, you saw the Oilers start to take advantage of a Minnesota Wild team that you could tell has got some defensive issues with the injuries on the back end.
Yeah, 2-0. It was like everybody on the bench said, we got to get going, and they did. Like I said, it was only 30 seconds later they get their first of the hockey game. But Matt Boldy had himself a pretty solid period for Minnesota. He got the first goal, his 17th of the year on the power play. And you're right, their power play, they were 1 for 3, but they could have easily been 3 for 3 the way they were ripping it around.
I thought the second one was also a power play goal, or if it wasn't, it must have been just afterwards.
Let me double check
the Rossi one
right here while you're doing that.
Yeah, because they were ripping around. Matt Boldy's a good hockey player.
The Rossi one. You're absolutely right. The Rossi one's been credited as a power play goal.
So that's where the Oilers got in trouble. Yeah, the Oilers got in trouble. They took penalties, and Minnesota made them pay. Boldy, we've been watching him for a few years now, and he just continues to get better. Big man, takes the puck to the net, not afraid to shoot it. On the goal that he scored, he drove the net, got to the middle, and right upstairs. And then the next goal, because he'd done that earlier, everyone's eyes were on him, and then he slides it back door to Rossi. So he was very good. His line was good. The Minnesota Wilds up front, their forwards were good in this period. Where they got into trouble is when they got stuck in their own zone, and the turnovers and the miscommunications. And that happens when you've got new players in your lineup, and half the D are new, playing in the back end for them. You're going to have some issues, and the Edmonton Oilers started to exploit that as the period went on.
Well, that Hyman goal from Leon Draisaitl, of course, a perfect backhander. I can't think of too many guys I've seen who pass it as well on the backhand as they do on the forehand. But it was a 5-hole goal that got the Oilers right back into it. And then Connor McDavid it was a great pass actually from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. It just had lots on it, but it was a nice pass. And McDavid puts it in to tie this one up at 2. That's his 18th of the season, and it looks like the guys have finally figured it out. Took a while.
Well, the Oilers weren't bad at the beginning of the game. They just they were killing. They kept taking penalties that they didn't need to take. Josh Brown, he can't take that penalty. You're down in a game on the road. You took a big hit, fine. Take a number. Don't come right back because the refs are watching you. So that was an easy call. Once the Oilers started playing 5-on-5, they started winning races, winning battles. The Hyman goal, fortunate bounce. I think Goudreau put the puck into his own net. Hyman tried going across. Goudreau deflected it and passed his own goalie. But that was a nice play by that line, creating an opportunity. And then the Oilers get the power play. We've talked a lot over the last few years. The Oilers power play, most good things happen once they've taken a shot on net because there's chaos. And on that one, Bouchard took the shot and missed the net. But as soon as there's a shot on net, everybody turns and looks the other way. They're trying to find the puck. When you're looking for the puck, you lose your man and you lose your passing lane, sticks in the lanes. And all of a sudden, Nugent Hopkins gets it. Backdoor. I mean, Connor McDavid scored 2 goals in his last 2 games. He has yet to face a goalie on either one of them, both empty nets. But he found the quiet spot. And Nugent Hopkins found him in the quiet spot, and Connor made no mistake.
Shots on goal through the opening 20 minutes of play. The Oilers out shooting Minnesota 14-3, and we're all tied up at 2. Rob, we'll talk to you coming up in the second intermission, okay?
Sounds good.
We will take a break, and this is At the Intermission, and it's brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring. This is your Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Oil Country, the Rogers Place experience is coming to Century Casino as they host the ultimate Oilers watch party at the Century Sports Bar and Lounge on Saturday, January 18th. Come cheer on the Oilers as they take on division rivals, the Vancouver Canucks. Be a part of the action for your chance to win incredible Oilers prizes. You won't want to miss this.
Century Casino Edmonton, 13103 Fort Road. Reservations are recommended. Call 780-643-4000 or visit cnty.com for more information.
Calling all hockey parents. Ford of Canada and the Edmonton Oilers want to know how your child's minor hockey team gives back to the community. For a chance to win a once-in-a-lifetime experience with Ford drills and skills to train like a pro at Rogers Place. Open to minor hockey teams with players between the ages of 7 to 13 in Edmonton and area. Register your child's minor hockey team today at FordDrillsAndSkills.ca. Registration closes January 31st.
You may think it's crazy to put so much of our in-stock flooring on sale during the Big One clearance event, but it's not. Here's why. Even end-of-the-roll flooring centers only have so much room, so we need to clear out what's already here to make room. It's not just a sale, it's our biggest sale. It's why we call it the Big One. We're not crazy. Our prices just make it look that way. The Big One clearance event on now for a limited time at end-of-the-roll flooring centers. Let's get flooring.
12870 St. Albert Trail and now open at 580 Parsons Road Southwest.
With Global News, I'm Thomas Dias. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says the news of a ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas war is a welcome development in a 15-month conflict, adding he hopes the deal will also help to bring down the temperature here in Canada as people on both sides have been affected by the war. Middle East expert and international peace negotiator Naomi Baryakov says both sides will need to find a way to recognize each other's trauma.
The hurdles are immense. It's a long, long road to 2 states living side by side in peace, but that is the only way forward. The Middle East is a changed region now.
And Mark Carney is expected to announce tomorrow, right here in Edmonton, that he's running to replace Justin Trudeau as the leader of the Liberal Party and the next Prime Minister of Canada. Born in Fort Smith, Northwest Territories, and raised here in Edmonton, most Canadians were first introduced to Carney as the Governor of the Bank of Canada, where he received widespread acclaim for steering Canadian monetary policy and a wider economy through the 2008 financial crisis. News on demand at 880chat.com.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall, from house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations, from your favorite fuss shop to your local Indian spot, from noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Rogers is Canada's fastest and most reliable internet. We're made for Oilers fans. You can stream Brown's scoring down in the basement. And there it is! Watch Leon light the lamp in the living room. Spectacular! Connor scoring in all corners of the house. And Nurse notching a game winner in the nursery. Very quietly, of course. Rogers, proud partner and fan of your Edmonton Oilers.
TikToks all the way back.
Athletes know that to advance your career, you've got to be part of a winning team. So, what about you? Are you working for a winning team? Well, here's your chance to do just that. Brandt is a strong and stable industry leader with career opportunities across Canada. We have hundreds of positions available right now, from parts, sales, positioning technology, heavy-duty mechanics, and more. Be a part of a winning team. Earn your stripes by joining Brandt today. Find out more at BrandtJobs.com.
At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Bryn Griffiths back at Edmonton in Studio B after one period of play. The Edmonton Oilers rallying after being down 2-0 to make it 2-2. Wow, it was a pretty crazy first period. We'll have to wait to see what the second period holds in store for us. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, which is brought to you by Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. Just the two matchups tonight, other than the one we're watching. The other game was in Buffalo. It's over and done with, and it was a 4-2 victory for the hometown Sabres, who upped their record to 17-22-5, beating the Hurricanes of Carolina. How about Ryan McLeod getting the hat trick tonight for Buffalo, scoring his 8th, 9th, and 10th of the season. So a rather sizable win for Buffalo over a team that's pretty good. The Hurricanes, who are, just slumping just a little bit. But 4-2 is the final score in that one. And, of course, you know what's going on between the Wild and the Oilers, 2-2 after one. Taking a look at what's happening with Bakersfield in the American Hockey League, the Oilers farm team. They're in Colorado to play the Eagles. They are trailing 1-0. That one is about ready to go into the second period. Connor Carrick with the goal in that one for the other team, the Eagles. There we go. Sorry. And I was just trying to get an update on the score in the Western Hockey League, too, because the Edmonton Oil Kings are in swift current to take on the Broncos. That one is now about ready to go into the third period. Not a good evening for the Oil Kings. They are trailing 3-0 after 40 minutes of play. And that is your out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Pizza 73, your official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. The second period is coming up next. At the intermission is brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring. This is your Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
At the intermission has been brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
When was the last time your electricity and natural gas provider made you feel like this? Low rates, no strings attached, year-round perks, and local energy experts who always have your back with Encore by Epcor. Find that carefree energy feeling at encore.epcor.com/carefree.
Customers are free to purchase natural gas or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822 toll-free.
The Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation 50-50, presented by Rogers, is back and bigger than ever. The largest 50-50 in sports offers early bird draws, bonus raffles, and a main jackpot, which is growing by the second. With over $100 million invested across oil country, your support directly helps kids, families, and communities in need. Maybe you'll be our next winner. Get your tickets right now at EdmontonOilers.com and help make oil country a better place.
AGLC license number 696879.
Hey Edmonton, ever think about who gets your hard-earned money when you buy groceries or gas? For all you know, it could be buying a second yacht or private jet. But at Co-op, they put it right back into the community. That's because they're owned by 120,000 everyday Edmontonians, not a corporation. Feel good about where your money goes when you shop Co-op. Visit in-store for details.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Cam Moon and Bob Stauffer. We're here at the XL Energy Center. We're in St. Paul, Minnesota. Oilers in the Wild tied at 2 after one period of play. And I can tell you, the Oilers 50-50 presented by Rogers. It's back with life-changing jackpots. Tonight's Heroes of Oil Country Mega 50-50. It's sitting at $289,000 and climbing. Our next lucky winner could be you. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com/50-50. Matt Boldy and Marco Rossi scored for the Wild in the first period. Zach Hyman and Connor McDavid scored for the Oilers in the second. McDavid's got a couple of points, so now he's tied second all-time Oilers points with Yari Curry at 1,043. Henrique, Janmark, and Connor Brown are out there with Nurse and Josh Brown to start off this second period. We've dropped the puck. We're underway, and it's just inside the Edmonton blue line. Nurse up the left wing to Janmark. And it's just into the Minnesota zone. Bogosian across to Rossi, to Boldy. Broken up by Henrique. Fires it back to Nurse. It just misses him. Goes in behind the Edmonton net. Nurse out from behind it. Little bank pass. Got picked off, though. But Henrique can recover. Give it to Josh Brown. Going behind the Edmonton goal up the left wing to Nurse. Has to hurry. Gets it out. The Janmark to Nurse. To center. Shot in by Bogosian. Pickard will set it in behind the net for Matthias Janmark.
Forwards need a change here, Camp.
Nurse to center, up the right wing to Janmark, skips off his stick.
Can't make that.
Johansson will get it out, breakaway pass to Hartman with Eriksson Ek, the pass, the shot, oh, what a save by Pickard, and it goes out of play. Calvin Pickard on a 2-on-0, just made an amazing save off of Eriksson Ek.
It was so good, you worry whether or not he torqued himself on the stop. He made a tremendous right pad save, but man, oh man, what were the Oilers doing? A blown offensive zone entry and a line change, and guess what? They're loading up McDavid and Draisaitl here.
What a start by Pickard. Keeps this game tied at 2. Puck cleared to center as Draisaitl. Into the Minnesota zone. Stops top of the circle on the left. Through the middle, but that is picked off and cleared out by Hartman. Come out to Pickard. He had to play it. Goes in behind the Edmonton net. Ekholm on the left wing, but it won't get out. Johansson to the point. Merrill will shoot it. That's off a skate into the corner. We're a minute and a half gone here in the second. Tied at 2. The Oilers take it on the Wild. Long pass on the right. McDavid into the Wild zone. Now over to the left. He'll put it in front of the net, just wide of Hyman. Puck back to the blue line. Emberson will shoot it, and it doesn't get through. And skating out is Hartman for Minnesota. Went to shoot it in, and the stick just craters. And the puck goes into the Oilers zone. To center ice. It's in behind Podkolzin, though. So Bogosian back into his own end. Cross to Chisholm, back to Bogosian, and he'll get it out to center ice. That's where he finds Goodrow. He'll come in on the right wing. Goodrow, centering pass, and that one just by Foligno. Oilers come out 3-on-2. Arvidsson and Nugent Hopkins. In over the line to Arvidsson on the right. Through the middle, but it goes off a stick fork. You get the Podkolzin. Puck top of the circle. Trennan will get it out. To Goodrow, now on the left to Foligno. To the point, and Arvidsson got it out for the Oilers.
Arvidsson's had a decent game here. He's drawn a call. He's got his feet moving.
Goes and stops him behind the Wild net. Now out through the middle with it. Tied at 2 in the second. Pass off the stick of Foligno directed into Edmonton territory. Josh Brown right corner. Up the right wing boards. It's into the skates of Kapanen. Now through the middle to Nurse. And he'll jump into the play. Get in over the Wild line to Perry. A shot and a save made by Gustafsson. He'll hold on for 2 minutes and 54 seconds. Gone in the second. The Wild and the Oilers are tied at 2. Faceoff will be in the Wild zone to the right. Philip Gustafsson.
Perry made the right decision there. Put the puck to the net. Unfortunately, didn't get a rebound on it. Yeah. Right? Defender tried to take away the lower half of the net.
It's off to the right of Gustafsson. It's at the top of the circle. Kapanen goes into the corner, steps out to shot. Gustafsson to save. Sent back to the point. Left wing point Nurse. Gets it low. In behind the goal to Perry. Slides off the check. Off the left wing boards to the point to Nurse. To Perry. Perry to the blue line. Gave it to Nurse. He's got it on the right point. Comes down the right wing in front to Kapanen. Off his stick. Goes up into the air into the right wing corner. Perry to Kapanen. Kapanen on the right wing, top of the circle, to the blue line to Nurse. Around to the left wing, Josh Brown pokes it in behind the net.
That whole sequence started with a real good face-off win for Edmonton.
Cleared off, or to the boards, off of Kapanen and out. Josh Brown on the right wing to Draisaitl, comes into the Wild zone. Smith McDavid with it at the side of the net it goes, and covered by Gustafsson.
Oilers won a lot of the face-offs in that period, 65% of the draw. No Kaprizov for Minnesota. He played the 7-1 loss. The Oilers lit him up here. Edmonton the last 2 games against Minnesota, 3 for 4 in the power play camp. And they haven't needed a lot of time to score.
Faceoff will be to the left of Gustafsson.
And I just whammied Draisaitl, Eriksson Ek, who is their best faceoff man.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He's real good.
Yeah, puck flipped out. Sent through the middle by Bouchard. Nobody there for the Oilers. It's icing against Edmonton.
Well, the good news for the Oilers here is they managed to get this game to even because they were down 2-0, touched up for 2 goals or penalty killing, which had been the best in the league since November the 9th, has had some struggles. And frankly, they could easily be 3 for 3 on the power play in this game. They have thrown it around.
They looked all world on the power play in the first period, did the Wild. Face off to the right of Pickard. Puck to the right wing boards. Back home to the corner to Bouchard. That hits a shin pad. Goes to the left side. Pass across Eriksson Ek. Great save by Pickard. And he covers it up again. Eriksson Ek is thwarted by Calvin Pickard as he came across that pass by Hartman. It was a one-timer. Eriksson Ek wasted no time. That was a good save.
Got to manage the puck better than that. Just a lackadaisical clear. Bouch has had some star-crossed moments in this game. You'd like that sequence back, but he usually responds with something pretty positive. And times you got to live with it. The thing about Evan Bouchard is, come playoff time, he elevates.
Yeah. Up to the left of Pickard, poked on net, rebound, scores. Hartman got his own rebound right off the draw, and it's 3-2 for the Wild.
No idea what happened. I'll have to take a look at this again.
Ryan Hartman went right to the net.
McDavid chipped it back, and Hartman basically hopped inside of Ekholm.
Hartman just won the race.
Yep.
Get his 7th of the year.
I mean, Connor won the draw there. Well, the Oilers could use an even strength goal, a different line in this game.
4:09 time of the goal for Hartman. Puck the side of the Minnesota net.
Brown almost got it.
Just about had it. It's floated out to center ice. Emberson to Kulak. Kulak to center, will shoot it in off the stick of Rossi. Gustafsson out to play it.
I mean, Edmonton's outplayed Minnesota 5-on-5 in this game, but they can't score.
Kulak got it to the left wing corner to Janmark. Trying to get away from Bogosian. Comes up the left. Janmark to the corner. Drops the puck. Goes to the line. It's Kulak over to Emberson. A shot. And that one doesn't get through. Goes to the right wing corner. Henrique up to the top of the circle to the blue line. Emberson one-timer. And that one goes off of either Brown or Rossi. And it went behind the goal. Right wing to Zuccarello. Can't get it out. Pinching in was Kulak. Bogosian on the end boards. Off the stick of Boldy and out. 3-2 Minnesota. 5 minutes, 20 seconds gone here in the second period. We're starting off a 3-game road trip as Arvidsson comes into the Wild zone, cuts across through the middle, can't get a shot, puck goals, and then recovers it, has it on the left wing to the point to Nurse. Now on the right point to Josh Brown. In boards to Arvidsson to Nugent Hopkins. Cycles the puck to Podkolzin. Goes to the left wing corner. Up the left wing boards to the point. Nugent Hopkins shot and a glove save made by Gustafsson. He found it through the traffic. He'll hold on to it. 5 minutes and 46 seconds gone here in the second. The Wild are up 3-2.
Wild have outshot Edmonton here in this period 5-3, and they've had a couple open looks. And Chris Knobloch quickly goes back to McDavid, Hyman, and Draisaitl, an ozone draw here. Get it back.
To the right of Gustafsson. Oilers were down 2-0 in the first. Battle back, tie it before the end of the first period. Wild have scored here in the second. Ryan Hartman, 7th of the year at 4:09. Puck on the left wing point. Bouchard on the right. Draisaitl got it in front of the net off the pad of Gustafsson. And up the right wing, Eriksson Ek will get it out. Long pass on the left. Middleton goes after it, left wing corner in Oiler territory. Puck along the boards. It's Hyman for Edmonton, and he's going to get it out. Center ice, the puck went to Hartman. He'll shoot it in. Ekholm to Bouchard. Now to McDavid, off the skate of Draisaitl, goes into the corner. Bouchard up the right wing, able to clear it. Middleton, center ice to Hartman. It's in his skates, didn't know where it was. Now he found it, he'll shoot it in. Bouchard to Ekholm. Ekholm through the middle, directed in by McDavid. Merrill goes in behind his net, gives it to Middleton, left wing corner. Up the boards, top of the circle, that doesn't get out. Merrill go in behind his goal for Minnesota, right wing for Hartman. Into the middle, it won't get out of the zone. This time it was Perry keeping it in, now Hartman just brings it out himself. Into the Oiler end, softly into the right wing corner. Kulak to Ty Emberson, into the middle, that's where he finds Noah Philp. Philp will bring it through center ice. In over the line to Perry. Perry trying to get back to Philp, broken up by Juracek. 3-2, Wild lead. Just over 7 minutes gone here in the second period. Dermott in his own end is going to give it away to Philp. Will shoot it. Didn't get a lot on it. And it goes right to Gustafsson. He'll hold on. We're going to take a break. 7:16 gone in the second. 3-2, the Wild lead the Oilers from the XL Energy Center in St. Paul, Minnesota. It's Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Believing in yourself takes confidence. At Portage College, 93% of grads say their education gave them the skills and knowledge they needed for their careers. That's the kind of confidence that leads to great results. Learn more at portagecollege.ca.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
Experience a game day meal that's second to none. Fanfare with Skip is your all-star lineup of local restaurants this hockey season. Watch Jack Michaels give you the play-by-play on each restaurant's connection to the community and our team. Visit EdmontonOilers.com/skip to watch this month's episode with Amazing Walk Restaurant. Then open your Skip app and tap in an order with exclusive fan access to a deal each game day during the month. Did somebody say Skip? Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Portage College graduates are incredibly employable. How does Portage know? 99% of employers surveyed said they would hire a Portage grad. Get career ready at Portage College. Learn more by visiting portagecollege.ca.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Cam Moon and Bob Stauffer, we are here at the XL Energy Center where the Wild have a 3-2 lead on the Oilers, 7:16 gone in the second period.
Problem that we're seeing tonight, Edmonton's had some decent 5-on-5 time, but they don't look like, other than the McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman line when they're together, that they can threaten any of the other lines to finish. And they've had lots of zone time.
Off the draw, puck goes to Arvidsson. Couldn't get the shot through. And Foligno, or up the center ice, is Trennan. He can drop the puck to Middleton. He'll shoot it in. Pickler to play it. Rim it. Podkolzin couldn't get it by Merrill. Comes back. Podkolzin went off his stick. And now Nugent Hopkins will get it out on the right wing for Victor Arvidsson. Give the puck to Kulak. Now to Arvidsson at center. Into the Wild zone. The left side went in on the offside, so the Oilers have to regroup, tag up. Puck comes out, pass for Trennan, missed him. Kulak will get it to center ice to Nugent Hopkins. Down the right wing to Arvidsson and over the line, back to Nugent Hopkins, and that doesn't connect. It goes to the left wing corner. Along the boards, Podkolzin to Nugent Hopkins. Around the right wing to the point to Nurse. To Nugent Hopkins. top of the circle, chopped away from him. It comes out.
That was close.
Nobody touched it. It was fine. Oilers were making changes. Puck shot in by Connor Brown. Middleton in behind his net. 3-2 Wild lead here in the second. 8:20 gone. Puck flipped high in the air into the Oilers zone. That's icing against Minnesota.
And out goes Hyman, McDavid, and Draisaitl. Ozone draw.
Saw that trio put together pretty early in this game.
Yep.
Face off to the right of Gustafsson. Draisaitl gets a stick down. He's in there with Rossi.
Drop the puck, fellas.
Yep, let's get her going. All right, Draisaitl wins the draw. Ekholm on the point. Across to Bouchard. Down the right wing to McDavid. Comes up top of the circle. Gives the puck to Draisaitl. Stops on the right wing. Draisaitl to the blue line. Right wing point now. Got away from Trennan. Into the corner. McDavid centering pass. That one off the skate. Comes back to McDavid. Goes in behind the net. Over to the left wing. His pass to the point gets picked off. And Boldy got it out. Left wing to Trennan. It's offside at the Edmonton blue line. We've played 8 minutes, 52 seconds of this second period. Ryan Hartman has scored in the second. That's the difference in this game. Wild are up 3-2.
Off a D-zone draw that the Oilers won. And Hartman got inside position. I don't know if there's a little bit of a misread between a switch off on Hyman or if Ekholm just got beat inside.
Puck shot into the Wild end. Gustafsson out of his net with the rim it. Rossi top of the circle. The left wing for Boldy. Sweep it across the line. Juracek. Juracek will dump it in. Josh Brown to Nurse in the left wing corner. Off the glass. Juracek kept it in. Got it to the middle. Boldy shot off the shoulder of Pickard. Henrique through the middle. Doesn't get out. It goes to Boldy. Now to Zuccarello. Waiting. Pulling it to the right. His shot save made by Pickard. Puck back to the point. Dermott had given it to Rossi. Now behind the net to Boldy. Right side, Zuccarello pulls it off the right wing boards. Goes to the top of the circle. Juracek to Dermott to the middle. The one-timer fanned upon by Boldy. Now a shot. A great save by Pickard with the left pad. And the puck along the boards.
A brutal sequence from Edmonton here.
Juracek's going to keep it in. Boldy in the corner. He lost it. Comes around to Nurse. And he'll come out for the Oilers. Gets to center ice. Nurse had it knocked off his stick. Juracek up the right wing to Boldy. Into the Oilers zone. To the end boards. It goes in behind the net. Phil to the corner. Runs into Rossi. Loose puck to Nurse. Up the right wing. Just past to Connor Brown. It'll be icing against Edmonton with 9:44 to go in the second. 3-2 the Wild lead. But they came really close to making it a 4-2 game.
There's been some poor decision making for Edmonton at times in this game. This is an important defensive zone drop, albeit fourth line against part of a third line and a fourth line is Janmark and Brown got to get off, but Phillips got to get a face-off win here.
Up against Stadinov. Phillips, no, he stays in. Wins the draw. Puck goes to Josh Brown. Up the boards, won't get out.
These guys have they got to do a better job managing the puck to the fence.
Usnadinov to Devin Shores, pass to the middle, picked off by Connor Brown. Off the right wing boards and in. He's going to get to it himself. Down the right wing, the angle shot off the outside of the Minnesota net. Puck in behind the goal. Chisholm up the left wing for the Wild. To center ice, to Shore, goes off his stick. Into the corner in the Oiler end. Emberson up against the boards. Oh, he gets hit hard. And the puck on the left side. It comes to the point. Merrill winding up and it's shot. And that one doesn't get through. Usnadinov back to the point. Now on the left. Middleton will walk in. A shot. Bad save made by Pickard. Right wing. Usnadinov brings it to the middle. Give it to Middleton. Now on the right side to Jones. Jones with that big hit on Emberson. Back to the blue line. Middleton put it off. A stick goes into the corner. Busnadinov to Jones, and he doesn't handle the pass. And it's Perry on the right wing to clear it out for the Oilers. 8.5 to go in the second. 3-2 Wild lead. Merrill to Middleton. Back to Merrill. Up the right wing to Hartman. Stood up at the Edmonton blue line, and Arvidsson can get the center ice and drill it in.
Hit him.
Bogosian around the right wing boards to Hartman. Get it out through the middle of the ice. Goes into the Oiler end. Josh Brown. And behind the net to Nurse. Nurse gets hit by Johansson. And Nurse runs into Johansson. Puck on the end boards. Eriksson Ek will get it to the right point. Bogosian couldn't keep it in. It goes by him and down the ice. Gustafsson, and it went to play it. Just stopped it. The puck cleared out. Nurse at his own blue line. Left wing to Nugent Hopkins. Into the Wild end to Podkolzin. Cross ice. Oilers making a change. It does come out. Bouchard to Ekholm. Now to Arvidsson. Into the Wild end. Left wing to Podkolzin. Goes to the corner. To the side of the net. The shot and the save made by Gustafsson as Podkolzin wired it from an angle. Gustafsson will hold on. We'll take a break with 7:26 to go in the second period. 3-2. Wild lead the Oilers from the XL Energy Center here in St. Paul, Minnesota. It's Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Did you know the RCMP polices over 99% of Alberta's landscape? From the oil sands to the Rockies to the prairies, the RCMP has a province covered. Providing policing services to more than 1,700 communities and with over 150 career specializations, the Alberta RCMP has something to fit everyone's goals and lifestyles. Visit rcmpcareers.ca and take the next step towards your career with the Alberta RCMP. A message from the Government of Canada.
Blue-collar work deserves big-dollar perks. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals is hiring heavy equipment technicians, maintenance supervisors, PM servicemen, maintenance coordinators, and pretty much every other position that makes Alberta go. We help move the earth that makes Alberta grow. So why not work for a company that makes your bank account grow too? Visit heavymetalequipment.ca to find your new career. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals, helping you move the earth.
Chemco is more than just a trusted local name. Chemco has been building industry across Canada for more than 60 years. From engineering through to commissioning, construction, maintenance, and beyond, Chemco's multidiscipline approach stands firmly on the belief that Chemco cares. It's not just what they do, it's how they do it. Visit Chemco.com and discover how they can support your project today. Chemco, proud fans of the Edmonton Oilers, serving and supporting communities across Canada for over 60 years.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Here at the XL Energy Center, Cam Moon along with Bob Stauffer. 7:26 to go in the second period. 3-2 the Wild lead. Ryan Hartman with the goal here in the second. That's been it in this period. It was tied at 2 after 1. Face off the Minnesota zone to the right. Philip Gustafsson.
I think they missed one. I think the Guardian Gustafsson got away with playing the puck.
In the forbidden zone.
In the forbidden zone.
Ekholm on the left wing point to the skates of Hyman. McDavid will get to the line, comes to McDavid, makes a move in the slot, gets dumped down. The puck is cleared out by Eriksson Ek. Draisaitl in on the right wing. Up to the right wing point. Down the boards to McDavid. To the left side, Bouchard across the one-timer. Save made by Gustafsson. Is Ekholm with an opportunity. Puck cleared and out to center ice comes Johansson. Going to the right wing corner. Lost it. Draisaitl skating out for Edmonton. Will get to center ice. Dishes on the left to McDavid over the line. Cross ice pass. It just swept away before it could get to Hyman. Puck cleared to the line. Knocked down by Bouchard. Right corner to Draisaitl. To McDavid. He'll go in behind the Minnesota net to the left. He'll get it across off his stick. Goes near the point. Emberson to the right corner. But Trennan took it away. The Wild able to get it out. Right at his own blue line. Good roll, had to go off the stick of McDavid. So Emerson for Edmonton. To the middle of the ice, Podkolzin. Now to Arvidsson to Podkolzin. Into Minnesota territory, goes to the left wing corner to Arvidsson. Along the boards, Kulak has to pinch in. Got it to Podkolzin, comes back to on the left wing to Nugent Hopkins. Turns in the left wing corner, 3-2 Wild here in the second. Puck on the right wing point, Emerson. A shot, scores! Tipped out of the air by Nugent Hopkins. And the Oilers have tied the game at 3.
Well, one thing about Emerson, he finds ways to get pucks through, and Nugent Hopkins with just a wonderful deflection redirection. Even strength goal for Edmonton. Oh, wow. Right over the blocker side on Gustafsson, and that will be RNH's 12th goal of the season.
What a deflection by Nugent Hopkins at 14:15 of this second period.
Good work, though, from Arvidsson and Podkolzin on that line with RNH.
And we're back even as Nugent Hopkins is scooping in on the backhand. Goes in behind the Minnesota net. Podkolzin over to the right side of the boards, but Boldy there for the Wild. He'll get it out. Right wing, give it to Middleton. Off the boards and in. Took a hit from Nurse. It goes in behind the Edmonton goal. Zuccarello's pass taken away by Nurse. Spins in the left corner in his own end. Up the left wing now to Victor Arvidsson. He'll fire it right across to Josh Brown. Able to dump it in. Glove down by Middleton. We're tied at 3 with 5:10 to go here in the second. Oilers in Minnesota tonight. Zuccarello directs it into the Oiler end. Behind the net, Ekholm. Got it to the boards, but Rossi wraps it on the right to the right wing point. Juracek. Right in behind the Oiler net to Boldy. Gets pushed off of it by Ekholm. Henrique up the left wing, off of Perry and out. Brought in by Henrique, now to Perry. He'll walk in and he just hammers it wide on the glove side.
Gotta get it better. Good luck. Excellent play by Henrique and Kapanen.
It's at center ice. It's Rossi into the Oilers zone to the left wing corner. Puck goes along the left wing boards. Boldy had it dug out by Kapanen. He'll go cross to Corey Perry. Up the right wing to Kapanen. In over the Minnesota line. He'll shoot. Save made by Gustafsson. Holds on to that with 4:18 to go here in the second. Tied at 3. The Oilers and the Wild. We'll be right back from the XL Energy Center here in St. Paul. It's Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Oil Country, you never miss an Oilers game. Join your fellow fans at Molson Canadian Oil Country headquarter locations every game day. Visit oilcountryhq.com to find out where you can enjoy the game next with a pint of Molson Canadian, the official beer sponsor of the Edmonton Oilers.
It's a new era for Ford in Edmonton. Welcome to Big West Ford. Located westbound on Stony Plain Road just east of the Henday, Big West Ford is Edmonton's newest and most exciting Ford dealership. Whether you're after the legendary F-150, the Powerhouse 350 Super Duty, or the adventurous Bronco, they've got you covered with exceptional selection and service right here in your city. Big West Ford, driven by you. Visit Big West Ford at 18208 Stony Plain Road or online at bigwestford.com.
I'm Gene Principe for Legacy Heating and Cooling. Some people think I only know hockey, but I know from the flame in your furnace to your mighty ducts. At Legacy, we never shark our duties. We get cracking and knuckle down to have your heating and cooling systems workings right, so you get a comfortable night's sleep. And that's just our division. I mean, a division of Legacy. But let's get to Pacifics. With Legacy, you'll get no interest and no principal payments for 1 year on your new furnace. Legacy, the difference with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Oil Country, you never miss an Oilers game. Join your fellow fans at Molson Canadian Oil Country headquarter locations every game day. Visit oilcountryhq.com to find out where you can enjoy the game next with a pint of Molson Canadian, the official beer sponsor of the Edmonton Oilers.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Cam Moon along with Bob Stauffer. We're in the Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Legacy Heating and Cooling, home and no payments, no interest for 1 year. Tied at 3, the Oilers and the Wild with 4:18 to go in the second period. Nugent Hopkins from Emberson and Kulak at 14:15 of the second, tying things after Hartman put the Wild ahead 3-2 in this second period. Face off in the Minnesota zone to the left to Gustafson. McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman are out there with Ekholm and Bouchard. Eriksson Ek taking the draw for the Wild. Puck goes to Middleton on the right wing. Give it to Hartman, gives it to Eriksson Ek, gets to center. Now in over the Oiler line to the left side. Middleton shot off the arm of Pickard, and Hyman will get it out down the right wing to Draisaitl into the Minnesota zone. His pass broken up by Merrill, and he'll clear it.
Leon's got to shoot it. I know he's on his backhand as a left-handed shot there, but he's got a good backhand.
One of the best. Merrill with it in his own end now.
Put it on the net, put the goaltender under some duress.
The right wing to Hartman, hit his skate, goes to Eriksson Ek. He gets caught by Draisaitl, who cleared it. Now it's Hyman into the Minnesota zone, drops it to Draisaitl. The shot off the glove of Gustafson on the right point. Bouchard will keep it in. Left wing corner to Draisaitl. Pass to the middle, that's broken up. Johansson will get it out. Kulak with it at the Edmonton blue line. 3:18 to go in the second. We're tied at 3. Kulak starts up ice. Pass through the middle to Arvidsson. Comes in. He'll shoot it. That launches off the stick of Merrill. It goes out of play. Back and forth affair here this evening at the XL Energy Center between the Oilers and the Minnesota Wild. Third and final time the two teams meet. Minnesota won 5-3 in Edmonton on November 21st. Oilers won 7-1 here in Minnesota December 12th.
Even game.
This one, yes, very much. Bogosian, right corner, high in the air and out. A bouncing puck that got caught up in Zuccarello.
Back of the pants.
In his pants. So we get the whistle.
Not surprisingly, he's got 2 assists in this game. This guy lights the Oilers up for fun. It's interesting. Smaller, skilled guys that have great patience seem to, over the last few years, given Edmonton some challenges.
It's been very good.
There's better players than him, but there aren't many players better against Edmonton than him.
Yeah, 2 assists, so that puts him at 28 in his 24th game, 28 points in his 24th game against the Oilers. As Emberson will shoot it into the Wild zone. It goes to the left wing boards. Nugent Hopkins to the point to Emberson. Now to Arvidsson, his shot, that just went wide. Nugent Hopkins couldn't get one through. It's blocked, and Chisholm will bring it out for the Wild. Cross ice pass, and it goes to Boldy, but it hit the stick of Kulak, and that threw the whole thing offside with 2:42 to go here in the second.
It was the work on the backtrack there from the Edmonton Oilers. Ty Emberson, that forced a low degree of probability with a pass across. Kulak was able to get a stick out there. Brown's seeing a pretty regular shift here.
Josh Brown, yes.
Can't argue with the opportunity. He's had some challenges handling the puck a couple times. Didn't like his penalty, which was a reactionary call on Trennan, who didn't want to fight him. And Trennan can fight. Brown's a more accomplished fighter, but Trennan, much like Podkolzin, has landed one punch in one fight that makes people think twice, and that was against Zdeno Chara.
Henrique into the Wild end on the right wing, top of the circle. Pass to the line, off the stick of Trennan, it comes out. Here's got it to center ice. Hit Goodrow. They got it tied up right in front of the penalty box area as Henrique is in there for Edmonton. Try to jam this thing free. Connor Brown also there. Goodrow just holding it up against the boards. Now Henrique got it loose. Goes into the Oiler end. Chasing after it is Trennan. Josh Brown hit by Foligno. Puck goes to Trennan. He put it in front of the net. There was Henrique for the Oilers. Up the right wing to Connor Brown. Comes into the Wild zone. Stops up right side at the hash marks. Threw it in behind the net. Foligno there for Minnesota. To Merrill. Up the right wing for Goodrow. The Oiler blue line. Pokes it into the right wing corner. Emberson to Kulak to the middle of the ice. And Kapanen will get it out to Carey. Now to Philp. He'll come in over the line. He'll shoot that off the stick of Merrill. And that goes out of play with a minute 27 to go in the second.
I like that he shot it, that he took the shot through the screen there. You never know. Like if he doesn't pick it up, he's got a heavy shot.
Soft will be to the right of Gustafson. Tied at 3 here in Minnesota. Oilers Oilers get the big line out there of Draisaitl, McDavid, and Corey Perry.
Yep.
Who we have seen out with McDavid and Draisaitl from time to time. Ekholm and Bouchard on the back end. Goes to the middle of the ice. Johansson on the right wing to Eriksson Ek. Off the boards and in. Ekholm has to chase after it. Chop it up the left wing to Perry. Spins to the middle. And he'll find McDavid and he'll get to center down that left side. Off the boards and into the left wing corner. Middleton jamming it. Lost it. McDavid to the right wing point. To Bouchard into the corner. Draisaitl behind the net to McDavid. Comes up the left wing to the point for Ekholm. Across the line to Bouchard. Last minute in the second. Tied at 3. Ekholm shot off a stick. Goes into the right wing corner of the Wild end. McDavid for Draisaitl. Right wing corner. Draisaitl side of the net. Put it on goal. Gustafsson the save. Puck back to the middle. Ekholm to Bouchard. Down on the ice is Johansson. And now the whistle goes as Minnesota.
Johansson's trying to draw a call here on McDavid with the stick. And did he get cut?
He might. He's being looked at right now. So this will be no penalty being called right now, but that doesn't mean that we won't see one. It's big.
I think he's selling it. Get a little bit of a clip on the play.
Not bleeding, no.
No. You didn't call a penalty on the sequence.
Oh, it caught the elbow. It wasn't a stick. I thought it was the elbow got him.
He flicked it.
Yeah.
It's going to face off here.
Face-off will be in the Wild zone. Of course, the Wild coaches would like an explanation. I can understand that. 40 seconds to go in the second. Tied at 3. The Oilers and the Wild. I don't think there was any intent on that, but
I think he just tried to
skate by him.
He's still on the ice here with 40 seconds left in the period.
All right.
Have a little bit of controversy in the building right now.
That's right. So, play on, they say. Face off to the left of Gustafsson. Puck goes to the right wing corner. Hyman has it up against the boards. McDavid gets in there. Draisaitl gets it to the point. To Bouchard, across to Ekholm on the left. Can't find a shooting lane. Played it behind the net. Goes to Hyman. Takes it to the left wing. To the point for Ekholm.
Got a shot.
Ekholm down the left wing boards. Off the stick of Merrill. Merrill into the middle of the ice. To Eriksson Ek. Off the right wing. Down. It should be icing. It will be. With 10 seconds to go here in the second. Oilers will get an offensive zone face-off. Shots are 24-22 in favor of Edmonton. We're tied at 3.
I'd say if you get a draw here, put the puck on the net. They're a little frustrated. They're a little hot right now. The non-call there on McDavid. They thought that should have been at least an interference call. Maybe an elbow.
All right, Draisaitl will take the draw against Hartman. Wasn't quite right. Okay, now the lineup. Face off to the right of Gustafsson. Draisaitl wins it. Bouchard, well, shoot, save made by Gustafsson. And the puck cleared out. Won't be hard enough for icing. And the period will end. The teams trade goals here in the second. Tied at 3 through 40 minutes. In what has been a back and forth affair between these two clubs. Oilers were down 2-0 at one point, tied it at 2 after 1. They exchanged goals in the second. Pretty evenly played game to this point.
Yeah, it has been. And the Oilers needed to get a goal from somebody other than McDavid in Draisaitl's line, whoever he's playing with, be it Hyman or Perry, and they got that on a Nugent Hopkins deflection on some hard work from Podkolzin. So tied at 3 after 2. Pretty even game. Shots are 25-22. The Oilers were not very good early in that period, much better later on in that period. And maybe penalties are 3-1, 3 power plays for Minnesota in this game, 1 for Edmonton. But maybe the one that's, if you're an Oilers fan, you like the non-call against McDavid. If you're a Minnesota fan, you're thinking that should be a penalty. And that'll be something to watch here in the third period. I mean, ironically enough, we didn't get any penalties in that period. They've got 2 of their 3 goals on the power play in this game. I'll be intrigued to see what happens in period number 3 and how physical they are against Connor as the game goes on, too.
Tied at 3. We are through 40 minutes. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins scoring for the Oilers in that second period. Ryan Hartman had the goal for the Wild. Hyman and McDavid have also scored for the Oilers in this game. Boldy and Rossi with goals for Minnesota. Tied at 3. We're through 40 minutes here at the XL Energy Center. Bryn Griffiths, Rob Brown, they're going to have the intermission for you when we come back. Tied at 3 through 40. It's Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Country, the ultimate Oilers watch party happens all season long. Attend Molson Canadian Oilers Game Day live throughout the season for your chance to win 2025-26 Edmonton Oilers season seats. Be there for the next Game Day live flight night for your chance to win a trip for 2 to watch the Oilers play in Las Vegas. Join them January 16th at the Crown and Tower, St. Albert's. For the full event schedule and to RSVP to the ultimate Oilers watch party, visit OilersGameDayLive.com. Stay connected with your community and enjoy the latest updates and exclusive access to concerts and events by becoming an 880 Ched Insider. Don't miss out on a single moment. Sign up now at 880ched.com and click on Ched Insider Newsletter to become a vital part of Edmonton's premier news and talk community. 880 Ched, Edmonton's news, today's talk, where Edmonton stays informed and entertained today and every day. At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Turns in the left wing corner, 3-2 Wild here in the second. Puck on the right wing point, Emerson, a shot, scores! Tipped out of the air by Nugent-Hopkins.
That's your Highlight Zone, brought to you by Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos with 3 great locations in Edmonton, St. Albert, and right next door to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the Winner's Zone. Welcome to the second intermission. After 40 minutes of play, we are all tied up at 3 between the Oilers and the Minnesota Wild. Bryn Griffiths along with Rob Brown with you here. Well, Brownie, what do you think of that period? It was a little on the sloppy side for me, and the momentum shifts. Unbelievable tonight.
Yeah, the Oilers probably pretty fortunate to get out of that tied. A lot of big mistakes in their own zone, turnovers, poor changes. They had a 2-on-0 against that was just a really bad change. When you have the long change, which is the second period, the benches are on the opposite ends. You have to make sure the puck is in deep, which means down low below the goal line in the offensive zone before you change. And the Oilers didn't. They didn't get in deep. It was a tough pass to Janmark on the boards. He wasn't able to control it. And as soon as that happens, you can't leave the ice. And the Oilers did. All 5 of them changed, turned into a 2-on-0. So Calvin Pickard has made 2 unbelievable saves in this game in that second period. He's given up 3 goals. I mean, it easily could be 5. So the Oilers are trending well in this game. They played better at the end of the second period and probably will come back and win this hockey game. But it hasn't been a great defensive effort from them. They've made some big mistakes that have allowed the Minnesota Wild some grade A scoring chances.
Yeah, it's been a little odorous at times for the Oilers tonight. But I can tell you right there, actually, you know what? I can't say this. That save on the 2-0 might be the save of the game tonight, because the way this one's going, there might have to be 1 or 2 bigger ones than that. But on that 2-0, I mean, Pickard off of Eriksson Ek, it was, hey, listen, yeah, what happens on those 2-0s? If you must have gone in on a few of those. You've got to be, are you thinking pass or shoot? For the guy moving the puck in.
It depends it depends what the goalie's doing, or it depends what kind of player you are. That save was good. The better save for Pickard was the one-timer from Eriksson Ek a little bit about a shift later. That was a harder save. The 2-0 that they had, Mike Hartman carried the puck. I think it was Hartman that had the puck. He carried it too deep.
Yeah.
When he made the pass across, Pickard knew there was only one play for Eriksson Ek, and that was to put it on net. So Pickard could sell out, and he did. If you're on a 2-on-0, the puck has got to go quicker. You've got to put about 10, when you're about 7 feet from the net, that's when you make the pass. Because now Pickard, if he dives across, if he sells out, the pass can come back, and then you'll have a wide open net. So Hartman made it a little easier for Calvin Pickard. Still a good save, but the big save, and the one that really had Eriksson Ek shaking his head, was the one-timer about a minute and a half later when he got all of it, and Calvin Pickard got the glove on it. That was a fantastic save. So both those were big saves for Calvin Pickard and for the Oilers, because the Oilers very sloppy to start that second period.
Well, okay, so Kellen Kennedy, who makes the final decision on the save of the game, are you saying that maybe it's not that 2-0?
No, I don't think so. No,
we need a ruling
here. That was a great save. To me, it was the one-timer from Eriksson Ek. I mean, watch that one again. And Calvin Pickard had to go from one side all the way to the other.
Okay.
Whole wide open net. It was almost a little bit reminiscent of the one that Skinner made last game on the 2-on-1. Just coming all the way across. And the only thing, Pickard, he got his arm out there, got a little bit of the glove on it. Fantastic save by Calvin Pickard. He made two big saves in that period.
Okay, let's talk about Connor McDavid going by. I didn't catch who he clipped.
It was Johansson.
To be honest with you.
Marcus Johansson.
Oh, Johansson, thank you. Yeah. What do you think of that?
It's a penalty. It was a penalty that the refs missed.
He came up a little bit on the elbow, I thought.
Yeah, there was intent.
Gave him a little nick.
There was intent. He came past him, and then he extended his elbow to the chin of Johansson, and it hurts. It stuns him. The Minnesota Wild were furious, but they would have been even more furious. The ref let it play out. The Oilers had 2 or 3 scoring chances on a 5-on-4. So, yeah, the referees missed one. That should have been a penalty.
Think that gets looked at after the game, video-wise? By Department of Player Safety?
Yeah, John Shannon told us earlier tonight that they watch everything. I don't know if it gets a fine or not. But, it'll be looked at. Anytime a player goes down and needs to be a trainer to come out on the ice, they're certainly going to look at it. I don't know. Does it may be a fine? I don't know. It doesn't really matter if it's a fine, because they can only get fined $5,000 anyways. So it's pocket change, but it'll be looked at. I don't know. If nothing will come of it really, though.
Okay, we got a couple minutes. I'm giving you a little more time on this. What do you say to the troops after that, going into the third period, which, by the way, is the strongest period for Minnesota? However, their lineup is all screwy right now anyway. But what do you say to the Oilers? It wasn't a very sharp period at all.
Tighten up defensively. When the Oilers got the puck in the offensive zone, when they got their forecheck going and their cycle going, they created a number of good chances. The goal that RNH scored was off a cycle where they went from down low to up high, then put the puck on net as guys start crisscrossing in front. More of that is what they need. The problem was the turnovers. So there's 2 things that has really benefited the Wild in this game is Oilers' big turnovers and Oilers taking penalties. So in the third period, simple game. Get the puck out quickly and just don't take a penalty, because the Wild scored 2 power play goals and they looked very deadly. Like their power play was moving it around. If either team gets a power play in the third period, it's a good chance that puck's going to find the back of the net. So be the more disciplined team.
So is this a little bit of what the Oilers are doing, or is it mostly what Minnesota is forcing the Oilers to do, or is it a combination of both, really?
What you mean with the mistakes defensively?
Yeah, because I'm seeing some unforced errors. It's like the passes just aren't clicking tonight. But, it's one of those games, right? We've seen it. And we've also seen them come back big time in the third and put it away.
Yeah, I'm not too fearful about what the Oilers are going to do in the third period. They're a good hockey club that's playing against a team that's beaten up. Minnesota, they're a good forechecking team. That's where their success comes from. They will be, once they get healthy, they're going to be a playoff team that's going to be tough to beat. They play a good structured system. They will eventually have a game breaker in Kaprizov back. They got 3 fantastic defensemen all out of the lineup tonight, but really good skating defensemen that can create problems for the opposition's forwards because they can skate with them. But with the lineup they have tonight, the strength of their lineup is getting pucks in deep and forechecking. And when Minnesota gets the pucks in deep, they've created turnovers, and that's where they've got their good chances. The Oilers just got to be a little smarter in their own zone, and if you don't have a play, don't force it. There's nothing wrong with fighting for it along the boards. Just don't throw anything through the middle. The Oilers did a couple times in that period, and it cost them.
Gotcha, Rob. We'll talk to you after the game, okay? We'll take a
Sounds
break,
good.
and hey, At the Intermission is brought to you by Another Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring. This is your Four Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Be a savvy Edmonton hotel shopper. Book through Edmonton'sBestHotels.com and receive up to $225 in cash rewards. There are over 55 member hotels to choose from, offering their best value rates. Edmonton'sBestHotels.com. Rewards with every booking.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. You know what I'm a fan of? Alberta. The wide open spaces, the highways and byways, and a rugged, beautiful terrain that I'm proud to call home. Maybe that's why I'm also a fan of my Ford F-150. It's tough, capable, and smart, which makes it a natural fit for roads like these. So if it's a new truck you're looking for, look no further than the truck Albertans love to drive, F-150. Head into your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Be a savvy Edmonton hotel shopper. Book through Edmonton'sBestHotels.com and receive up to $225 in cash rewards. There are over 55 member hotels to choose from, offering their best value rates. Edmonton'sBestHotels.com. Rewards with every booking.
With Global News, I'm Thomas Dias. Canada's premiers met with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau in Ottawa today to discuss potential tariffs coming from the U.S., but with oil and gas being one of Canada's major weapons in a possible battle, Premier Danielle Smith took to social media to say that as long as the idea of cutting off energy supply and imposing export tariffs to the U.S. continues to be considered, Alberta cannot fully support the Fed's plan for dealing with the tariff threat. It's a sentiment that former Alberta Premier Jason Kenney has some issues with.
I don't think we should be talking about shooting ourselves in the foot by cutting off exports. But I also think that we should not be excluding anything. We should, as a country, stick together.
Justin Trudeau continues to say the country will use any and all tools necessary to stand up for Canadians. And here's some better news. Edmonton police have reported 2024 had a year-over-year drop of around 47% when it comes to shootings in our city. There were 118 shootings last year compared to 221 in 2023. Also on a downward trend, crimes involving guns. News on demand at 880ched.com.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Tired of skyrocketing energy bills? Switch to clean, affordable power with Horizon Solar. Whether you want to cut costs, go green, or increase your home's value, Horizon Solar has you covered with tailored solar energy solutions. With current government incentives, there's never been a better time to make the switch. Own your power, control your bills, live sustainably. For your free assessment, call Horizon Solar today or visit horizonsolar.com to get started. Horizon Solar, where going green makes sense.
Live sky high with remarkable units for rent and for sale at Sky Signature Suites. Currently offering amazing incentives on 1- and 2-bedroom rentals featuring designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. All of this and more within the heart of Ice District, Edmonton's best address for shopping, dining, entertainment, and fun. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com and make your home high above the ordinary.
The intermission, brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Bryn Griffiths back in Studio B in Edmonton. It's 3-3 after 2 between the Wild and the Oilers. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, which is brought to you by Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. Just one other matchup in the NHL tonight. It is over. It's a final. Buffalo beating Carolina 4-2. How about Ryan McLeod with a hat trick for the Sabres, his 8th, 9th, and 10th goals of the season. In the American Hockey League, the Bakersfield Condors are playing in Colorado tonight. The Condors right now with a 3-2 lead after 40 minutes of play. It's Connor Carrick with his 7th of the year, James Hamblin with his 4th and 5th of the season. So Bakersfield with a 3-2 lead on Colorado after 40 minutes of play. Tough night for the Oil Kings in the Western Hockey League. They fell behind 5-0, rallied to come back a little bit, but still lost in Swift Current tonight, 6-3. The final just in from the Innovation Complex in Swift Current. Next up, they're in Regina on Friday, in Moose Jaw on Saturday night. That's your out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. Hang in there. The third period is on the way. At the intermission is brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring. This is your Four Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
At the intermission has been brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
At Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, they recommend pairing locally distilled spirits and their ice-cold beer selection with... And Oilers win! Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, proud partners and fans of the Edmonton Oilers. Please enjoy responsibly.
When was the last time your electricity and natural gas provider made you feel like this? Low rates, no strings attached, year-round perks, and local energy experts who always have your back with Encore by Epcor. Find that carefree energy feeling at encore.epcor.com/carefree.
Customers are free to purchase natural gas or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822 toll-free.
Hey, hockey fans! Hard rubber works well on the ice rink, but not so good on frozen roads. Aturo tires are engineered with that in mind. Scientifically designed tread patterns, along with resilient rubber compounds, allow Aturo tires to grip well in the cold of winter, while providing excellent traction and long tread life through year-round conditions. Aturo has the all-weather tire for you. Available at Action Car and Tire, Point S, and tire shops everywhere. Find a dealer near you at atturo.com.
At Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, they recommend pairing locally distilled spirits and their ice-cold beer selection with... And Oilers win! Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, proud partners and fans of the Edmonton Oilers. Please enjoy responsibly.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Cam Moon and Bob Stauffer. We are here at the XL Energy Center, St. Paul, Minnesota. Oilers and Wild tied at 3, getting ready for the third period of play. Oilers, when tied after 2 periods, are 2-2-0. They were tied after 2 in Chicago, found a way to get it done. The Wild, they've been in this position plenty. They're 7-5-2 when tied after 2 periods. We've dropped the puck. We're underway here in the third as Zach Holm will shoot it into the Wild zone. Middleton up the left wing to Foligno. He'll get it up the right side at center to Eriksson Ek. He'll skip it wide of the Edmonton goal. Bouchard then lost it. Hartman to Foligno to Hartman. Back to the left wing point. Middleton shot. That's off a stick. Goes wide. McDavid up the left wing will get it out to Draisaitl. Now into the Wild end. Draisaitl stops up on the right wing. To the point, one-time shot. Doesn't quite get through by Josh Brown. Puck in the left corner. McDavid behind the net to the right. Back to the blue line. Bouchard is shot and is saved by Gustafsson. He'll hold on. We're 44 seconds into the third and tied at 3.
2 good looks from the Oilers right from the get-go, and they kept the play alive in the O-zone. The net front was Hyman. Brown with the first attempt, and then the second one, a double deflection. That went off of Zuccarello's or Hartman's stick. And we're basically going to see Nugent Hopkins center Arvidsson and put Coles in here against the Rossi line. And then it's going to be McDavid and Draisaitl going up against Hartman and Eriksson Ek.
Puck to the right wing corner. Podkolzin back to the point. Goes by Josh Brown. Down into the Oiler end. Nurse in behind the net. Zuccarello would come in, but up the left wing to Nugent Hopkins. Cross to Brown. To center now to Arvidsson. Down the left wing, Nugent Hopkins into the wild zone. Cross ice pass. Podkolzin right in front, but just broken up by Rossi before it could get to Arvidsson. Rossi into the Oiler end. Poked away from him by Nurse. Nurse to Brown. Josh Brown up the right wing to Victor Arvidsson. Peels it off the right wing boards now down the left side to Podkolzin in front of the net. Scores! Going hard to the net. The puck's in there somewhere, but Darnell Nurse had scooped it in. He landed up in the net, and the Oilers are up 4-3.
That's going to be a goal for Edmonton.
Nurse went hard to the goal. He put it in and then went right in the net himself, and everybody had gathered in there.
Our Nurse, you know what? He's trying to get them to go here. They might go. It should be a good goal.
Oh, yeah.
The puck was clearly in the net.
Yeah. Minute 28 into this third period.
And that was Podkolzin centered in front. Yeah, that's a good goal all the way. It was just a hard net drive by Nurse.
Chisholm had taken Nurse right to the net. Puck had already got in after Nurse ran into the netminder Gustafsson.
Podkolzin again, Cam.
Oh, he's made a great play. Nurse gets his 5th of the year. Ties him with Charlie Huddy now for second all-time Oiler defenseman goals. And the Oilers have a 4-3 lead here in the third period. Puck dumped into the Oilers zone. Pickard rims it, knocked down by Trennan. They give it to Goodrow on the end boards. Trennan right wing, shoots it towards the net, stick saved by Pickard. Emberson to Henrique. Over to Kulak. Kulak to Emberson, has to go behind the Edmonton net, up the right side. Kulak will bring it out. For Janmark into the wild zone, goes in behind the net, wraps it in front off the stick of Gustafsson. Henrique trying to find a loose puck. It goes over to the left wing boards. 4-3 Oilers lead. We're early here in the third period. Puck inside the Minnesota end. Janmark to the point to Josh Brown. Across to Nurse. Down the left wing. To the left wing corner. His pass off a skate goes to the middle. And Trennan there to clear it. A good row at center ice. Checked by Nurse. Here's Perry, left wing. Giving the goal to Podkolzin right now.
Did it go? Was it a bank shot off the skate? Maybe it never did get to Nurse. Yep.
Here's Bouchard on the right point. A shot. It was going wide, but into the glove of Gustafsson. 2 minutes, 50 seconds gone here in the third period. 4-3 Oilers lead. Right now it's Podkolzin from Arvidsson and Brown.
Well, I'd be happy for Vasily, but Darnell makes the play on the net drive.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe they banked that. Although we're going to get a look. Yeah, went off a Chisholm's skate, but I don't know if Nurse ever, if he touched it. He might have touched it after, but maybe not. Face off to the left of Gustafsson. So Nurse is now still one back of Charlie Huddy. Here's Bouchard off the right wing corner, centering that. Off the skate, goes over to the right side. Boldy will get the puck just out to center. Shot right back in by Kapanen. Merrill up the left wing to Husnadinov. Into the Oiler end on the left side. Down low, off the stick of Boldy. Stood behind the Edmonton net. Husnadinov to the middle, but it goes right to the stick of Matthias Ekholm. He'll get to center ice. He'll shoot it in on goal. Gustafsson cleared it to the corner. Kapanen in the left wing corner of the Minnesota zone. Checked by Chisholm. Chisholm will get the puck on the left wing to Boldy. Boldy swings back at his own blue line. 4-3 Oilers lead. 3:40 gone here in the third. Now Middleton will lose it to Draisaitl on the right side to McDavid off the outside of the net. Puck goes to the left wing. McDavid one hands it back to the point. Kulak to the middle. His shot just misses. Goes in behind the goal. Draisaitl, right point to Kulak. Now to McDavid on the blue line. Goes over to the left wing point. Brings it across the blue. Gives it to Kulak. Misses on the short. Goes off the knob of the stick of Gustafsson and out of play.
That's the time you got to go to the far side there and try to beat him low to the glove.
Faceoff will be in the Minnesota zone. 4:05 gone in the third. 4-3 Oilers lead. There's Podkolzin with his 6th of the year.
2 goals, even strength goals for that line in this game. I mean, if those guys can contribute and stay on the plus side of the ledger, it enables the Oilers to play McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman together, which I would do tomorrow in Colorado. I know what the lines were in Colorado today. I'm not buying that for a second.
You don't believe it.
No.
It goes to Ekholm, left point across to Bouchard, down the right side to McDavid, in front of the net, off the stick of Hyman into the right corner. Hyman knocked down by Bogosian. Puck jammed over to the left wing. It's Draisaitl with it. Stay away from Hartman. Sit behind the net. Hartman takes it to the end.
Slew-footed him. That is, how is that not called?
Back to the point. Bouchard shot, and the save made by Gustafsson. And up the right wing, Eriksson Ek will get it out. Give it to Hartman into the Oiler end. Hartman over to the left wing. Put it in behind the goal. Ek home to the blue line. Dermott will keep it in. Right wing to Foligno, but off his stick comes out.
Chippy game at times, Cam.
Has been.
I think Leon got, for the second game in a row, I think an Oilers player. Leon's checking lost his helmet there.
Zuccarello just getting it out up the left wing to Boldy. Boldy will fire it across the center ice line. It's Arvidsson right back in with it. Into the Minnesota zone. Checked on the play. Zuccarello will get it out. He's got Rossi with him. Into the Oiler end. Over to Boldy on the left wing. The shot save made by Pickard. Puck goes behind the net. Arvidsson rimming. It gets to the line. Middleton kept it in. Goes to the left wing corner. That puck put through the slot. And the shot by Merrill. Put it off the post. Puck on the left wing. Boldy's got it for the Wild. Across one-timer. Wow, what a save by Pickard. Coming across and held onto it. And Zuccarello can't believe that didn't go in the net.
Well, that's 3 terrific stops in this game. So right now they're saying put Podkolzin 6 from Arvidsson and Brown, as you mentioned.
We'll take their word for it. Great stop by Calvin Pickard. 4-3 Oiler lead here in the third. Near the top of the circle, went off of Janmark, kept in, angle shot saved by Pickard as it was drilled towards the net by Trennan, and the puck cleared out.
Little lax days of Koloff with some face-offs in the D zone in this game for Edmonton.
Goodrow up to Trennan, right in front of the Edmonton bench. He'll get it in. Now Goodrow to the middle, to Shore. Now to Middleton, a shot. That's blocked by Emberson. Goes to the right wing point. Juracek. Cross the line to Goodrow. Now to Trennan. Right wing corner. Goodrow with it.
This has been a good surge here for Minnesota. They worked hard.
Juracek had kept it in. The puck along the boards. Right in front of the Edmonton bench. Just inside the line. Jammed out of the skates of Devon Shore. Goes down into Minnesota territory. 6.5 gone here in the third. 4-3 Oilers lead. Middleton in behind his net for the Wild. Up the left side to Eriksson Ek. Cross ice. Chisholm then lost it. It goes to Draisaitl. He'll bring it in. Draisaitl. His pass off. His stick goes right to Foligno. Foligno to center. Crisscrosses to Hartman in over the Edmonton line. Wanted to get it back to Eriksson Ek. That pass doesn't get through. And it's Draisaitl up the left wing to Hyman. Oh, pass goes off of Foligno back into the Oilers zone.
Don't just make the easy play, okay? Too many times.
Chisholm will drift the puck into the Oiler end. Ekholm along the left wing. Goes to the line. Rossi keeps it in for Minnesota behind the net. Foligno tried to center it, doesn't work. Goes to Rossi. Comes up the right wing. Back to the right wing point. Bogosian shot tipped by Foligno just wide of the goal. Foligno walks over to the left wing. Could not get it in front of the net. Into the corner, Rossi. Put it in behind the goal. Hartman back there. Worked over a bit by Ekholm. Puck goes to Rossi out of the right corner. He'll go to the net. His shot. That one blocked. McDavid up the boards. It doesn't get out. Boldy keeps it in to the right wing point. Bogosian across to Chisholm. Now into the slot. Hartman in front. Oh, what a save on a redirection by Pickard with the right pad as Rossi was right at the side of the net, and it's cleared out.
It all started because of a poor cross-ice pass. Look out.
Zuccarello comes into the Oiler end on the left wing. Edmonton up 4-3 here in the third. Minnesota pressing. Just over 8 minutes gone in the period. Up the left wing, Nugent Hopkins gets it out to Arvidsson. Makes a move at the Minnesota line to the left wing corner up front. The shot and the save by Gustafsson off of Podkolzin. To the right point, Josh Brown. On the left to Nurse. Nurse across to Brown. Brown will shoot it. Glove by Gustafsson. He's going to hold on to it. We have played 8 minutes, 32 seconds of the third period. The Oilers have a 4-3 lead on the Wild. We'll be right back from the XL Energy Center here in St. Paul. It's Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
The Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation 50-50, presented by Rogers, is back and bigger than ever. The largest 50-50 in sports offers early bird draws, bonus raffles, and a main jackpot, which is growing by the second. With over $100 million invested across oil country, your support directly helps kids, families, and communities in need. Maybe you'll be our next winner. Get your tickets right now at EdmontonOilers.com and help make oil country a better place.
AGLC license number 696879.
Rogers is Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network. We're made for Oilers fans. You can stream Leon's scoring in Leduc. Watch Tide tie things up in Tofield. Or check out Connor doing Connor things in Kalmar. And even watch Stewart steal the show while you're in Sedalia. Try saying that 3 times fast. Rogers, proud partner and fan of your Edmonton Oilers. Our people, our team. It's what business owners almost always say is their most important resource. But strong businesses don't just find great people. They make sure their teams stay healthy, engaged, and performing at their best. A benefits plan from Alberta Blue Cross is more than just drug and dental. They support the whole person with flexible coverage levels that fit the size and circumstance of your business. Find a plan that gets results at ab.bluecross.ca.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
We got some tilt going here tonight. The XL Energy Center. Oilers are up 4-3 on the Wild. 8 minutes, 32 seconds gone in the third period. Vasily Podkolzin, the go-ahead goal for the Oilers. 1:28 into this third. Face off in the Wild zone to the left of Gustafsson. Philp, Kapanen, and Perry out there with Josh Brown and Darnell Nurse. Puck goes in behind the Minnesota net. Here's Nadinov up the right wing, gave it to Jones. Bounce it just into the Edmonton end, and it's Josh Brown up the right wing for Noah Philp. Philp got it to the blue line. Dermott got it to center ice. Puck goes back to Nurse. Go across to Brown. Josh Brown up the right wing. They'll dump the puck in. It's the rim into the right wing corner. Philp along the right wing boards. Gets it free from Husnadinov. To the left corner behind the net to Perry. Perry's trying to get in front of the net, but Husnadinov gets the loose puck. And we'll get it out to the neutral zone. Philp skating in on the right wing. Off the boards, and it rims. It's into the corner and out to Husnadinov up the right wing to Jones. They'll go up in the air and out. Kulak with it inside his own end for Edmonton. On the right wing now to Connor Brown. And a move at center ice. It'll go to Janmark. Scoops it in on the backhand. Puck to the right wing corner of Minnesota territory. It's up against the boards. Henry got it free. Goes to the end boards. Rossi rims it. Connor Brown, stick knocked out of his hands. Puck goes to the right wing. Zuccarello through the middle, gave it away to Henry. Can't get a shot. Spun around by Chisholm, and the puck to the middle. Chisholm over to Rossi, and he'll come up the left wing. He'll get to center ice, shoot it in cross corner. Off the boards. Boldy has it on the right wing. Up near the blue line, a shot. And that one blocked, goes off of Janmark. Left wing, Chisholm. Back to the left wing point for Bogosian. Chisholm on the left wing into the corner for Rossi. Stick came up, I think, on Henry. Puck along the left wing out to the middle. Rossi's one-timer just misses. Boldy over to the left side in front. Oh, what a save by Pickard off of Rossi with the left pad. And it's cleared out by Yanmar. That was ridiculous. Boldy comes in on the left wing. Gives it to Rossi. Right wing, Zuccarello. It goes to the point. Merrill had it go off his stick. He will keep it in. Left wing corner to Boldy. Oilers up by one here in the third. It's in behind the net. McDavid on the right wing to Hyman. Hyman to center ice. Over the center ice line, he'll shoot it in with 8:51 to go in the third. Edmonton up by one. Zuccarello off the left wing boards, and it gets to Eriksson Ek. He'll come in, a shot, and a glove save made by Pickard with 8:41 to go here in the third. Oilers have a 4-3 lead on the Wild. We'll be right back from the XL Energy Center here in St. Paul. It's Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
For years now, we've been warning Edmontonians on the hazards of our stormwater facilities. While they may appear to look like still ponds, there is moving water beneath the surface, which makes the ice dangerously... The unpredictability of stormwater facilities makes them treacherously unsafe for all winter activities, even walking. So think twice. Don't go on the ice. A safety message from EPCOR.
Real Canadian Superstore has more ways to save than any other major grocer. Check out their weekly flyer for PC Optimum offers, deals on club size, no name, and always low-priced everyday items. Visit in-store to find everything from fashion and home decor to toys and electronics. And don't forget their new Fresh Promise on produce. If your produce isn't fresh, they'll replace it and refund it. There are so many ways to save at Real Canadian Superstore. See their flyer for details.
When it comes to your new home, nothing should stop you from getting exactly what you want. Coventry Homes puts your needs front and center. They won't dig past your questions about customization, and making changes won't get you sent to the penalty box. With their customizable designs and flexible options, your game-changing home is within reach. Score big with flexibility. By Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Cam Moon and Bob Stauffer, we are here in the Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Legacy Heating and Cooling, home and no payments, no interest for 1 year. 4-3, Oilers lead, 8:41 to go in the third period.
Ryan Hartman maybe got away with a slew foot on Leon Draisaitl. I mean, I thought it was pretty obvious.
Face off in the Oilers zone to the right of Calvin Pickard, who has been sensational. And it goes to Hartman. He couldn't get a shot through. Out with it. Henrique to center. Pass for Nurse, skipped over his stick. It's icing against the Oilers.
Don't call for, he tried to negotiate contact on the pass. Darnell called for it.
Vasily Podkolzin, the go-ahead goal. Sixth of the year from 128 into the third. Face off to the right of Pickard. Chisholm on the left wing point to the middle of Hartman. He'll shoot it. Blockered away by Pickard. Puck gets back to Hartman in the middle. Into the left wing corner for Eriksson Ek. Give it to Chisholm. It got taken out by Nurse. And Brown to center ice for Edmonton. To Draisaitl to Brown. In over the line. Across to Henrique. The shot. And that's steered up and out of play by Gustafsson.
It's all right, though.
Oh, yeah. Nothing wrong with that. A face-off in that Wild zone with 8:12 to go here in the third period. Oilers in Colorado tomorrow. Vancouver on Saturday. Back at home on the 21st. Washington in town for a Tuesday night game. Face off to the right of Gustafsson. David wins the draw. Perry to the middle. The shot. Gustafsson the save. And the puck goes to the left wing. Boldy will get it out. Right wing to Rossi. Into the Oilers zone. Stops up on the right. It's to Zuccarello, right wing corner. Fed it in front, goes to the left wing. Rossi to the point, to Middleton. Now on the right for Merrill. Top of the circle to Boldy. Has to come up to the blue line. Left wing to Rossi. To Merrill on the left side. And behind the net to Rossi. Slides to the right. Gives it to Zuccarello. To the right wing point for Boldy. Over to Middleton. Down the left wing for Rossi. Rossi to Middleton. Forced up to the top of the circle. Middleton's going to keep that in. Ekholm, rimming. Wow. Rossi kept it into the middle to Boldy, and the save by Pickard. Puck to the blue line, and out with it McDavid. 2-on-1 with Hyman, and over the line, McDavid waiting. Scores! Short side, roofed it. And Connor McDavid gives the Oilers a 5-3 lead.
Well, Calvin Pickard's helped steal this one to this point for Edmonton. This game isn't over yet, but he's made about 5-10 bell saves here in the second and third period. And McDavid almost double clutched that. He did, and he elevated it. Wow. What a goal.
Unreal.
It's pretty good.
Now McDavid moves into sole spot of second all-time Oiler points. So he's got 2 goals and an assist. Here tonight, 19th of the year by McDavid. Wow, was that some play on the 2-on-1? Up the right wing, Husnedinov into the Oiler end. Goes to the right wing corner. Left wing to Goodrow, pass in front of the net, and it goes off the stick of Pickard. Puck goes to Goodrow on the right wing in the Oiler zone. Goodrow in front of the goal, just off of Trennan. It goes wide. Kept in. Puck goes to the point. Husnedinov a shot. Stopped by Pickard. That was redirected in front of the net. The right wing, it's Arvidsson. Trying to get it out. Can't. Trennan's going to keep it in for the Wild. Emberson played it around the right wing boards. Arvidsson scooped it off the glass and out. 6:23 to go in the third. 5-3 Oilers lead.
Unassisted goal from McDavid, by the way.
Okay. Dermott will shoot it cross corner into the Oilers zone. Foligno recovers it right corner. Back to the point. Jiricek knocked down by Janmark. Puck comes to the line and out. Chisholm with it in the neutral zone. Pass one off a skate, goes right to Kapanen into the Oilers. Down the left wing, looking for Janmark. Into the left wing corner of Minnesota zone. Up against the boards. Here's the puck to Kapanen. Went off his stick, though. And Eriksson Ek will go back into his own end. Into the middle of the ice to Bogosian. Left wing to Chisholm, and he'll dump it in. It goes in behind the Edmonton goal. Josh Brown, right wing. To Noah Philp. Philp trying to come up the right side. That doesn't get out. And we'll go across to Janmark, though. Janmark get to center ice himself. Shoot it in. Oilers will make changes. Puck rims on the right wing. Connor Brown. Laid it in behind the net. Bogosian there for the Wild. Forced to the corner by Henry. Now to Chisholm. Back over to Bogosian. Has it in the right corner of his own end. Long pass to center ice. To Rossi. At center, he'll shoot it in. Hits the corner boards. Ekholm couldn't get it out. It gets to the middle. Rossi just for a moment. And it's Bouchard to flip it out to center ice. It goes to Draisaitl. He'll come in. He'll get it on the left in front of the net. And a save made by Gustafsson after a redirection by Connor Brown. We're going to take a break with 4:51 to go in the third. The Oilers have a 2-goal lead. They're up 5-3 here on the Wild from the XL Energy Center in St. Paul. Ford Dealers, NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Looking for custom flags, banners, or canopy tents? Aurora Flags and Banners has a dedicated team to provide you with custom solutions and quality products. Aurora Flags has proudly serviced Canadian businesses and organizations for more than 30 years. Get a quote today at auroraflags.com. Hockey season is back. And so are the deals at Boston Pizza. Cheer on your team while ordering off their game day menu, or come in and see what great promotions they have going on. At Boston Pizza, they always have something craveable for you to enjoy. Boston Pizza, proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers. Cheers to a great hockey season.
Over the last decade, the world of work has changed dramatically. It's a change that can cause a disconnect between a company and its employees. But a partnership with Aon can help by making decisions that create a more flexible, engaged, and resilient workforce. Aon's experience and expertise, global understanding, and advanced analytics ensure that every client is better informed and better advised so that they can make better decisions. Whatever the next decade brings, Aon is in the business of better decisions.
Looking for custom flags, banners, or canopy tents? Aurora Flags and Banners has a dedicated team to provide you with custom solutions and quality products. Aurora Flags has proudly serviced Canadian businesses and organizations for more than 30 years. Get a quote today at auroraflags.com.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Here at the XL Energy Center in St. Paul, Minnesota, the Edmonton Oilers with a 5-3 lead on the Wild. 4:51 to go in the third period. Oilers have goals from Vasily Podkolzin and Connor McDavid here in the third period. McDavid's got 2 goals and an assist. Those 3 points puts him past Jari Kurri for second all-time in total Oiler points. Goes in behind the net. Wayne Gretzky at 1669. He's first, of course. Puck back to the line. Here's Bouchard, and he whistles it over the net. Goes off the glass. That goes out of play. Another face-off in the Minnesota zone.
So he's up to what now? 1,045. How many?
He's got 3 points, so 1,044. Face-off will be to the left of Gustafsson, as he was 1,041 coming into this one. It was Connor McDavid. Goes to the right wing corner. McDavid to the line. Bouchard shot. Kicked out by Gustafsson. Puck to the middle. Zuccarello with a breakaway pass to Boldy. Missed him with it. And Ekholm up to center ice to Corey Perry. Off the boards and in. After it, McDavid. He'll center that. Hits a wild stick and it comes out. T.S. Ekholm inside his own end for the Oilers. Through the middle to McDavid. Bumps it right back to Bouchard. Now on the right wing to Arvidsson. He'll rip the puck into the Wild zone. Pass by Zuccarello. Misses Rossi. It goes down for icing with 3:55 to go here in the third period. The Oilers up 5-3 on Minnesota.
So what does Wayne for the Edmonton operation tops the charts
for the Oilers?
Yeah, all time.
1669, according to NHL records, which is pretty good. On left wing, Chisholm up the left side for Minnesota. To Boldy, just got it to the Edmonton blue line. Podkolzin through the middle, off the skate of Arvidsson. It goes back to Podkolzin. He'll flip it in. Arvidsson tags up. Goes in behind the Wild net. Middleton. On the right wing to Bogosian. Bogosian over to Middleton. Gets to center ice. Played it in on the backhand. It goes off the corner boards. Ty Emerson behind the Edmonton net. Rimming it up the left wing to the line where Bogosian will keep it in. Goes off the shin pad of Kulak and Arvidsson. Comes up the right wing. Into the Wild zone. Stops top of the circle. Off the right wing boards down low to Nugent Hopkins. On the right wing for Podkolzin to the blue line. Josh Brown to Nugent Hopkins to Brown. He'll shoot it. And that goes off the stick of the netminder Gustafsson. The puck in the left wing corner. 2:54 to go in the third. 5-3 Oilers lead. Bogosian left corner for the Wild. Now to Foligno. To center ice. Lost it at the Edmonton blue line. Adam Henrique through the middle will get it out. Zuccarello at his own blue line over to Chisholm. Chisholm in his own zone to Zuccarello. Pass to the middle of the ice, right at center. Declan Chisholm gets the puck in left wing to Rossi towards the Oiler net. Now there goes Gustafsson to the bench for the extra attacker. It's in behind the Edmonton goal. Rossi left wing corner to the blue line. Chisholm across on the right. Zuccarello shot high and wide. Rossi will try to keep it in. He can't. It's cleared out by Henry. 2:10 to go in the third. 5-3 Oilers lead. Minnesota net empty. Puck dumped into the Oilers zone. Along the left wing boards, Eriksson Ek. Around to the right wing point. Boldy to the right corner. Zuccarello put it right through the slot. Goes to the left point. Chisholm down the left wing. For Hartman. Missed Zuccarello with it behind the goal. Boldy goes to the right wing corner. Boldy along the boards. Connor Brown for Edmonton got it free. Josh Brown trying to get it out. Hartman can keep it in. Give it to Boldy. Back to the point. Zuccarello misplayed it. It comes out of the zone. Oilers can make a change with a minute and a half to go here in the third. Oilers up 5-3. Chisholm out of his end. Drops the puck back. Zuccarello with it now. Zuccarello gets to center ice. So he'll shoot it in off the end glass. Ekholm wraps it on the right. It'll go down. It'll be icing. Minute 11 to go here in the third period. The Oilers are up 5-3 on the Minnesota Wild. Timeout here called by Minnesota. Rest there, guys, that were just out there for the last minute and change.
Minnesota's called their 30-second timeout. Minnesota.
6 on 5. Oilers were down 2-0 in this game. Battle back to tie it at 2 after 1. Wild go up 3-2 in the second. Oilers tie it in the second. And then get a couple of goals here in the third. Connor McDavid's got 2. Podkolzin, Nugent Hopkins, and Hyman also scoring for Edmonton. It's been Boldy, Rossi, Hartman scoring for Minnesota. Shots are 36-32 for Edmonton, but I can tell you this, Calvin Pickard has been outstanding in this game for the Oilers. Wild have had some good zone time and some great opportunities. And Pickard has been very sharp. Face off to the right of Pickard. Minnesota net is empty. Puck goes to the left wing point. Chisholm off the left wing boards to Zuccarello, and the Oilers can't get it out. Zuccarello got it in behind the net. Bouchard scooped it around. It goes to Boldy. We're into the last minute here in the third. Boldy on the left wing point to Zuccarello. To Boldy. Brings it across the blue line. Off the right wing boards. Gave it to Rossi. Out of the point for Chisholm. Will shoot it off the stick of McDavid. It goes out of play. 45 seconds to go in the third period.
Declan Chisholm got away with a tackle. Connor McDavid's like right on Zach Hyman. Like he just literally picked him up and dumped him on his you-know-what.
Face off to the left of Pickard. Oilers up by a couple. 45 seconds to go. Gets into some skates. Now goes to the right. The shot off the right side by Boldy is blocked. Boldy gets it back to the left wing point. Zuccarello shot off the end boards. Boldy tried a shot. That's blocked by Nurse. It's underneath him, and we get the whistle. Went off the back boards, and the one-time shot, Nurse just slid in front of it. .29 seconds to go in this third period. Nurse with the skate save, and then it goes underneath him. Face off to the left of Pickard. Draisaitl, McDavid, and Arvidsson out there for Edmonton with Nurse and Kulak. Goes to the corner. Boldy on the right. He'll put it in front of the net off the pad of Pickard. It's blasted down the ice just wide of the empty net.
Well, Arvidsson, you're up by 2 goals.
He took a shot.
But if he just feathers that out of the neutral ice area, David skates right into it.
21 seconds left. Oilers up 5-3. Race off to the right of Pickard. It gets between the Wild defense, and it comes out. Boldy at his own blue line through the middle of Rossi into the Oiler end. It goes right to Pickard. Swept it to the corner. 8 seconds left. Boldy on the left side in the corner in front of the goal. That's broken up by McDavid. He'll give it to Draisaitl. Draisaitl, his pass to Arvidsson. It doesn't matter. The game's over. The Edmonton Oilers win it 5-3 over the Minnesota Wild. The Oilers have won 3 straight and pick up their 28th win of the year.
Oh, this was a nasty, edgy game with a lot of missed calls, and the Oilers are now 7-1, Cam, in their last 8 games, as you know, and separated in the third period with a smart play by Podkolzin to get the game winner, and then McDavid with a brilliant individual effort to really seal this one for Edmonton tonight. No question about it.
Edmonton Oilers win it 5-3 over the Minnesota Wild. Hard-fought game here tonight for the Oilers. As Connor McDavid with a couple of goals and 1 assist. Calvin Pickard is...
They put the whistles away in this hockey tonight.
Let them play.
You know, no question about it.
All good. Pickard outstanding in net. Oh, he had to make some saves in this game coming across. A lot of side-to-side. Some big stops. Edmonton starts off the 3-game road trip with a victory. A game in which they were down 2-0 at one point.